6 days to the Super Bowl. Best phrase in all of sports, Super Bowl week. And storylines everywhere. 6 days to the theme that I think you should have. Will you deny greatness? Will you deny greatness on Super Bowl Sunday? I'll put yourself up there. The team that beat the Chiefs and stopped them from three-peating. Hey, by the way, do you know who owns three-peat? Anybody in here? Do you know who trademarked three-peat? By the way, guys, supers all go to the top. Please hit that like button. Do you guys know who trademarked three-peat? Every time somebody puts a T-shirt out or any kind of poster, Pat Riley gets paid because it's been trademarked by Pat Riley. Pat Riley owns three-peat. So, like I said, anytime you see that during the Super Bowl, and that's what the Chiefs are going after, obviously, it's 3 in a row. No team in NFL history has ever done that in the Super Bowl era. And, yeah, Riley gets like a percentage of the sales of everything the NFL is doing with that, with three-peat. Yeah. When the Lakers went back and they ended up three-peating with Magic Johnson's Lakers, Riley trademarked that thing and has been making money on it ever since. Any sport that uses that phrase, it's trademarked. Hit the like button. We appreciate it. Hey, by the way, are you ready? Get used to this. How do you like the name Kevin Patullo as your offensive coordinator? I think they're either going to elevate from within or hire Frank. Remember I told you this about Frank. Frank's still making money off that David Tepper money down in Carolina. He's still making $6 to $7 million a year. I think he's got one more year on that deal. Maybe two more. I don't know. I think it's one more year on that deal. What did Kevin Patullo do this year with the passing game? All those coaches didn't elevate that passing game. Not in any way, shape, or form. Saquon Barkley changed the offense. The run game really didn't need to be fixed. They just added a better player. Think about that. Your passing game was not fixed. Saquon Barkley was just a better player than DeAndre Swift and Miles Sanders. Hey, next 4 hours are powered by our friends at BetUS. We always start the program off with big sales. Appreciate you guys coming aboard. Please hit that like button. Thank you guys again. Guys have been killing it, man. This entire football season. Guys have absolutely just killed it, and we appreciate it. Before I start the program off, I do want to say this to you guys, okay? Today would have been the 60th birthday of Jerome Brown. Jerome would have been 60 years old today. Passed away, obviously, back in the late 90s and would have been 60. I'm convinced if Jerome Brown had stayed alive, you could even make the comment of Sean Taylor, very partial to those two guys because they're both Hurricanes. They would have both been in Canton. Jerome Brown would have been an Eagle Hall of Famer. Okay? I'm talking in Canton, not just a Hall of Famer, which he is now anyway, but Jerome would have been a Pro Football Hall of Famer. All-Pro 2 years. He just was getting started in his career. But, yeah, so just a little note on remembering my friend and former teammate, Jerome Brown, and Eagle legend. Today would have been his 60th birthday. What a defensive line that was. Absolutely insane how good that gangrene defense was. It's a shame they never won a championship or in the conversation with being a champion. We're going to do something pretty fun today. Last night was fun, and that's where it kind of gave me the inspiration. We're going to do something here in a second. I'll tell you what we're going to do here when it comes to matchups. We're going to talk about the key matchups here in a second, but I want to do something here. You know, media day last night inspired me because some of the stupidest questions of all time were asked. And you know what? I think it's cool, and I like it. And I'll tell you why, because you're not just getting hardcore media football people any longer at the Super Bowl because it's the biggest television show of the year. You know what you're getting? You're getting entertainment. NFL and entertainment are now synonymous with one another. That's why you got a guy like Jay-Z that's in charge of all the halftime celebrations and all the halftime performances. This one too with Kendrick Lamar. All of that is entertainment now. Okay? I mean, I'm looking forward to Kendrick Lamar. I am. I'm looking forward to that. It's the first, at least we're not doing this. We're not bringing Mick Jagger back. I mean, enough of that stuff. I don't want to see an 81-year-old guy on stage. I want to see somebody today, relevant. Seals, the surgery went well. Happy born day, Jerome Brown in paradise. Thank you, Blaine. Congratulations to you. I'm glad you got through the surgery all good. Very cool, man. I appreciate that, okay? Okay, let's see here. So what I'm going to – oh, wait. Let me start this. Eagle fans, Zander in the chat, how would you guys feel about having a dome stadium in Philadelphia? I would fucking hate that. I would fucking hate that. A dome stadium? No, thank you. Dome teams don't win Super Bowls. Saints, Colts, who else? Rams. 3 teams I can think of. You really think the Philadelphia sports fans would put up with it? I get Jeffrey Lurie. He's not wrong. He was asked the question about putting the lid on top of Lincoln Financial. Cowboys did not play in the dome. The roof was always open. That old Texas stadium did not have a dome. It was open. Okay? So I get it had a dome look to it, but Texas Stadium had a hole in the top. They never closed it. Okay, would you like a dome stadium in Philly? Dude, come on, man. The Minnesota Vikings put a lid on top of the 3H Dome. They never went back to a Super Bowl. They haven't been back since they took home field advantage away. The greatest home field advantage the Minnesota Vikings ever had was playing at Metropolitan Stadium. And you had to go up there in minus 35-degree weather in Minneapolis. You're not going up. It's colder up there than in Buffalo and Green Bay. Teams had to go up there and play the NFC Championship game. You couldn't play in Minneapolis. 35 below. They've never been back to a Super Bowl, and they went to 4 of them. Since they put a lid on top of the Hubert H. Humphrey Dome, now obviously the new place they got. Okay? I mean, I would hate seeing a dome in Philly. Dude, I get it. He wants to host Super Bowls, and he wants to bring a Super Bowl to Philly. What a great place that would have and be for a Super Bowl is Philadelphia. But, I mean, dude, hey, if you're going to do that, put a Super Bowl at Lambeau. The Lions have not won a Super Bowl. The Lions have never been to a Super Bowl, my friend. Sills Lions Dome team. Yeah, right. Well, they've never been. Okay? They've never been. Maybe. We'll see. Hit the like button. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I would hate that. And I get what he's thinking. Hey, more events, more winter events that you can have at Lincoln Financial. I just don't. Hey, dome team in Philly. I don't think that sounds right. That would be like brie and cheese and wine being served at Lincoln Financial. Dude, you serve brats and fucking hot dogs and hamburgers at Lincoln Financial and beer. You don't serve that shit. Sorry, Niner all day. Okay, right? Hit that like button. We appreciate it. All right. We're going to have a little fun here. I'm going to compare the 2024, 22, 17, and 04 Super Bowl teams. I'm not going to go back to the 80s, to the 80 team. I'm going to do in the last, since 2000. I'm going to do the 24, the 22, the 17, and the 2004 Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl teams. Okay? That we're going to put and talk which one's the best. Hit that like button. We appreciate you guys. All right. So let's start here. 2024, 2022. What is the best roster since 2000 where the Eagles went to the Super Bowl? Okay? All right. Quarterback, Jalen Hurts. In 24, Hurts 22, Foles 17, McNabb 04. I'm saying McNabb. 5's the best quarterback of any of those quarterbacks that have been to the Super Bowl. And I don't really think it's close. McNabb's a better player. McNabb. We're going to put McNabb 2004. Dude. I mean, McNabb. Running back. Barkley in 24. Sanders in 22. LeGarrette Blount in 17. What? In 04. Man, I love me some Brian Westbrook. I love me some Brian Westbrook, but Barkley. 2024. So far, the quarterback is from the 04 team, McNabb. Running back, Barkley, 2024. McNabb is better than Hurts. Stop it. Here, you know what is going to happen to Jalen Hurts? He's going to be the Bob Greasy of your franchise if you win it. Dan Marino was the best quarterback in Dolphin history. The most accomplished is Bob Greasy. Two things can be true. Wide receiver 1. Wow, this is going to be tough. 2024, A.J. Brown. 2022, A.J. Brown. 2017, Alshon Jeffries. 2004, T.O. In my opinion, wide receiver 1, A.J. Brown. 2022. Not 2024. Or do you guys think it's T.O. at wide receiver 1? Yeah. Well, 2024 A.J. Brown has missed a few ball games and his numbers are down big time. Would you go T.O. or would you go A.J. Brown? T.O. was awesome in the Super Bowl, too. Would you? Terrell Owens, hands down, he played on a broken leg. You know what? I'm going to put this more to a debate here. Terrell Owens is a better ball player than A.J. Brown. I mean, he's a better ball player. And he was a better ball player than A.J. ever was in 22 and 24. You got to go T.O. 2004. I'll make another comment to you. How many people think A.J. Brown's going to the Hall of Fame? He's not. He is not. He's ranked right now in yards 158th. He's nowhere near it. The guy who's in the Super Bowl that's going to maybe get to the Hall of Fame will be DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins is like 7th in catches, and he's got 13,000 yards, and he's got almost 90 touchdowns. If anybody that's going to make the Hall of Fame, it'll be him. 5-time Pro Bowler. It's him. AJ doesn't have the numbers. He just doesn't have them. Will a Super Bowl help? Look, like I said, he's not better than Antonio Brown. He's not. AJ's 27? Okay. He has another year like last year. Dude, what do you have, 1,000 yards this year? That's 60 yards a game. We'll see. Hopkins has got the best chance of getting into the Hall of Fame. 984 catches. He's going to go over 1,000 catches next year. He's going to go over 14,000 receiving yards. Come on now. All right. I'm going Owens. So, the quarterback, McNabb from the 04 team. The running back from the 2014, Barkley. The wide receiver from the 04 team, Terrell Owens. Wide receiver 2. I didn't know Wes Hopkins played. I didn't know Wes Hopkins played on the offensive side of the ball. Wide receiver 2, Devontae Smith, 24. Devontae Smith, 22. Torrey Smith on the 17 team. Or Todd Pinkston. Devontae Smith. 2024. I like this. Building a football team here with your best players that have ever been in this game. We're putting the all-time Super Bowl team together for Philly. We're going to try to figure out what team's the best roster. Wide receiver 3, Quez Watkins in 22. Jan Dotson, who, by the way, should be benched. Nelson Aguilar in 17. Or Freddie Mitchell. I'm going Nelson Aguilar. So far, McNabb from the 04 team, Barkley from the 24 team, T.O. over AJ from the 04 team, wide receiver 3, Nelson Aguilar from 17, and Smitty in wide receiver 2. Let's do tight end. Dallas Goedert, 2024. Dallas Goedert, 2022. Zach Ertz, 17. L.J. Smith in 04. Zach Ertz. So far, 2 players from the 04 team, 2 players from the 24 team, and 2 from the 17 team. Left tackle. Jordan Mailata, 24. 22, Jordan Mailata. I don't know how to say the guy who took over. I mean, is it what was the guy's name? I'm doing this kind of like off the top of my head. Was there a guy named like Viataya that played out there at left tackle? Somebody like that, right? It was like Hala Viatala that ended up playing. I thought, if I remember right, it was somebody that went in for Jason Peters. Jason Peters didn't play in the Super Bowl. Thank you, Kyle. Or Trey Thomas. So it comes down to Trey Thomas or Jordan Mailata. Who do you take? I love this exercise. Jason Peters didn't play in the Super Bowl. Do you take Trey Thomas? Or do you take Jordan Mailata? I'm taking Mailata. And I'm taking Mailata 2024. I think he's better than he was in 2022. Left guard. Dickerson, 24. Dickerson, 22. Steven Wisniewski in 17. And Artis Hicks, I think his name was. Hey, Big Sills, I really hope I'm not disrespecting you with this question, but could you share a bit of a story behind the Bone Crusher? I'll do that a little bit. Promise. I will. Landon Dickerson. 2024. Dickerson's better than he was in 22. This is going to be interesting. Center. Cam Jurgens, 24. Jason Kelsey, 22. Jason Kelsey, 17. Hank Fraley, 04. I'm going to take Kelsey, 17. Right guard. Kelsey, 17. We're picking your all-time Eagle roster in Super Bowls, not counting the 80, since 2000. At right guard, Mekhi Becton, 24. Isaac Seumalo in 22. Brandon Brooks in 17. And Jeremy Mayberry, was a former Buck too in 04. I'm taking Mayberry all day long. Jeremy Mayberry was better. That's 04. Right tackle. It comes down to Lane or John Runyon. Who do you got? You know what? You're right. I'm going to go Brandon Brooks. Brandon Brooks, 17. Lane or John Runyon? But what Lane? 24? 22? Or 17? I'm taking Lane, 17. So here is your Super Bowl offense since 2000. In the 04 game, 17 game, the 22 game, and the 2024. McNabb at quarterback. Barkley at running back from the 2014. Wide receiver, Terrell Owens, 04. Wide receiver 2, Smitty from 2022. Guy had 800 yards this year. That's 2022 Smitty. Wide receiver 3, Nelson Aguilar. Tight end, 2017, Zach Ertz. Malott, 24. Dickerson at left guard, 24. Kelsey, 17, center. Brandon Burks, right guard, 17. Lane Johnson, 17. So let's take a look at this. From the 2014 with the quarterback. 1, 2, 2 players. McNabb and Owens. 2017. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2022. 1. 2024. 1, 2, 3. More guys off that 17 team. Looks like to me an offense. Right? I mean, that 2017, you got 5 guys off that team. Now, again, a lot of them overlap here. But Kelsey was better in 17. Lane was better in 17. They were better. Let's go defense. D-line. Milton Williams. In 24. Brandon Graham. In 22. Brandon Graham. In 17. Or Javon Curse. In 04. Brandon Graham. 17. That 17 team had more good players on it than I thought they did. D-line. Jordan Davis, 24. Fletcher Cox, 22. Fletcher Cox, 17. Or Corey Simon. Fletcher Cox, 17. Do we agree? Okay. D-line, Jalen Carter. Javon Hardgrave in 22. Tim Terrigan, 17. Or Darwin Walker. Jalen Carter, 24. One more D lineman. Put him as edge here. Linville Joseph, 22. Vinny Curry, 17. Or Keith Adams. Chris Long was a backup in the Super Bowl. Curry, 17. Let's go linebackers. We'll pick 3 of them. Zach Bond, 2024. TJ Edwards, 22. Michael Kendricks, 17. Jeremiah Trotter, 04. Who you got? You taking Bond over Trotter? You're going to take Bond over Trotter? Bond. Right inside linebacker, Oren Burks. Kaiser White, 22. Joe Walker, 17. Dhani Jones, 04. What you got? Walker. I got Dhani Jones. Oh, 04. Let's do one more linebacker. Because you got to put Hassan Reddick in this. Hassan Reddick in 22. Nolan Smith in 24. Nigel Branham, 17. Or Mark Simonu? Who do you have? I'm going Hassan Reddick, 22. Funny. I see one dude on here from the 24, or 2 dudes from the 24 team. Carter and Bond. Let's go DBs. Q in 24. Bradbury in 22. Jalen Mills in 17. Lito Shepherd in 04. You think Quinyon Mitchell's better than Lito Shepherd? Really? Where are you seeing that? Fuck that. Lito Shepherd was a lockdown corner, played man coverage. Lito Shepherd, man, he was a good ball player. He ain't better than Lito Shepherd. You're out of your mind. That guy's a zone cover corner, man. That guy don't play man. Shepherd played man. He's a man corner. Quinyon Mitchell. No way. But I'll go there. 2024. You're the bosses. DB. Gardner Johnson. Marcus Epps. Rodney McLeod. Or Brian Dawkins. Two more DBs. 24, Darius Slay. Darius Slay, 22. Roland Darby, 17. Sheldon Brown, 04. I got Slay, 22. Reed Blankenship, 24. Vontae Maddox. Marcus Epps, 22. Malcolm Jenkins, 17. And Michael Lewis, 04. I got Malcolm Jenkins. This okay. So, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Jalen Carter, and Finney Curry are your D linemen. Bond, Dahani Jones, and Reddick are your LBs. Your DBs are Q, Dawkins, Slay, and Malcolm Jenkins. Which means this, the 2017 team on defense, 1, 2, 3, 2004, 1, 2, 3, 2022, 1, 2, and 2024, 1, 2, 3. Dude, that 17 team had some really good ball players on it. I'm kind of surprised. The 17 roster is damn good. I mean, you had 5 guys on that team that would start on this 24 team. And you had 3 dudes off that team, that 17 defense, that would start on this team right now. Pretty much your Dawkins and Jenkins would be back there starting for sure in your secondary. They'd be your safeties. You imagine having Slay and Q and Dawkins and Jenkins as a secondary? It'd be fucking psycho. Dude, I see why the 2017 team won the Super Bowl. That's a pretty damn good exercise, but it shows you here too. Pretty much the 2 most important players on that offense, off that 04 team, McNabb and Owens. They're better players. Jalen has a chance to become the most accomplished quarterback in Super Bowl era history for the Eagles. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean you're the best. How many people would say Bob Greasy's better than Dan Marino? Bob's more accomplished. 3 AFC championships, 2 Super Bowls. One of them was undefeated. He's a Hall of Famer himself. Nobody would ever take Bob Greasy over Dan Marino. Okay? I'm not taking 22 Jalen Hurts over McNabb. You crazy? I'm trying to get the passing game going. I like that. Hit the like button, guys. We appreciate you guys. You guys, rightfully so, he didn't get it done. It's funny. The guy in Miami, Dan Marino, is more revered than what Donovan McNabb is, and McNabb had better postseason success. Do you know Dan Marino's under 500 in the postseason? McNabb's not. He won more than Marino with lesser talent. And yet you guys take a shit on him. Name me a more accomplished quarterback in his era. Aikman, okay. Who else? In the NFC. Who else? Name me one. In the NFC. Name me one guy. Favre? Absolutely. Favre, Aikman, 2 Hall of Famers. Okay. Steve Young? Young was starting to wrap it up around 98. Okay, 3 Hall of Famers. Aikman, Favre, and Young. Warner? Hall of Famer. There's 4 Hall of Famers. How many Hall of Famers has or will in the NFC Jalen Hurts play against? John Elway wasn't in the NFC. Rodgers was in the NFC, but he wasn't playing during that time. It was Favre. Who's Jalen played against that's a Hall of Fame quarterback in the NFC? Let's take a look at that. That'd be nobody. All the QBs are over on that side. Stafford? Yep, Stafford's not making the Hall of Fame. Vic's not making the Hall of Fame. Okay, hey, if it's lies flexing, name me a fucking quarterback that Jalen's played in his starting time in 4 years that you think is a Hall of Fame player. Just a simple question. Aaron Rodgers, 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Okay, Aaron Rodgers. Played once against him, I think. He played against Brady, and Brady beat the fucking doorknobs off him. Name me one other guy. NFC. What Hall of Fame quarterback has Jalen played against? McNabb played against multiple Hall of Famers. Now, again, quarterbacks couldn't leave. Jessica goes, what's the point? McNabb had a tougher road to get to the Super Bowl than Jalen Hurts did. Just the same way Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson have a tougher road. You got to go through Mahomes. It goes in cycles. Okay? Brady didn't beat the doorknobs off of the Eagles in the playoffs. I must have fucking missed that. You had Troy Aikman in the booth going, throw the ball right. I must have missed that one. Hey. Tell me, Stafford's not going to Hall of Fame with an under 500 record. Somebody say, hey, Kyle, you're the only guy in here with any kind of sense. What's Stafford's all-time record? I mean, hook me up there on that. I believe he's under 500. You're not going to put a quarterback in the Hall of Fame that's got an under 500 record. I don't give a fuck if he's got a Super Bowl win or not. Guy has more losses. This dude's lying. What am I lying about? Name me a fucking Hall of Fame player. I'll name you the quarterbacks that McNabb played against. Let's take a look. What do you think McNabb's best year is? We'll do 04. Stafford's not a Hall of Famer. He got a Hall of Fame arm. Let's see here. 2004. Let's just go Eagles here. See who we played against that year. 2004, excuse me. We'll just pull that year out and see who they played against that season. And the quarterbacks. Eli's going to Hall of Fame. Got to give that. Was Aikman in the game? I don't think Aikman was in the game. Favre? Warner? That year alone, he played against 3 Hall of Famers. Okay? Jalen Hurts hasn't had to play against great quarterbacks in the NFC since he's been a starting quarterback. There's nobody. They're all overachievers. Nothing wrong with that. Every one of them. Name me the top quarterbacks. Goff, fair enough. I think Jared Goff's got a shot. Name me another one outside of Goff. Stafford, okay. He'll never get in because of his record. Give me another one. It's not anything to do with fault. It's era. Like right now, the harder road to get to the Super Bowl is winning the AFC, not the NFC. I'm not diminishing anybody. I'm talking about the journey. Could the Eagles put up great wins in the AFC? Yeah. That's not what we're fucking doing here, assholes. Okay? That's not what we're doing. All right? I'm just saying the road to get to the Super Bowl is way easier. Who did he go through? Who did he go through? He went through Jaden Daniels, a rookie. Okay? Before that, he played Stafford. Good. And he played against a second-year starter in Love. Okay. I wouldn't say Love's a Hall of Famer. NFC has better teams, better rosters. Why is that? It's easy to see. You're not paying your quarterbacks gigantic money, and the Eagles had done a nice job when it comes to salary cap on giving Hurts the money up front so they can have a back end when it comes to their cap hits, not kill them. They do a better job of doing that. Everyone else, they can't. That's why teams don't have great rosters. Teams don't have great rosters because you got to pay the quarterback. Brock Purdy's going to run into this. Here are the top quarterbacks you're going to play in the NFC in the next couple of years. Jaden Daniels, I guess Stafford. Who else? Love. These guys are fucking Hall of Famers. Never getting into the Hall of Fame. Okay? Again, it's not a rip. It's just the easier road to get to the game. Here, I'll make this point for you. We not all agree the easiest road to get to the national championship game is to be in the Pac-12 or the ACC. Playing in the Big Ten and the SEC, it's tougher to win those conferences than it is to win the national title. Look at Ohio State. Ohio State can't even beat a shitty Michigan team. Then the AFC's harder. You got to go through that dude in KC. McNabb had a tougher journey. He had to go through Aikman and Favre. You're going through Jaden Daniels and Stafford. I don't know. And he had to go through Aaron Rodgers. Dude, kudos to Howie. It's not a rip. It's really not. That's not his fault. It all goes in cycles, folks. Look at the AFC in the Brady era. You had Manning. You had Roethlisberger. You had Rivers. How hard do you think it was for those guys to get to an AFC championship game alone? Tough. It just goes in cycles. It's not any... Get a little butthurt, huh? Your boy get a little conversation going and get your panties in a bind, huh? Holy shit. Jalen Hurts isn't a chick. You don't have to protect her. Okay? Honest, easy, guys. You don't have to protect your girlfriend. Hey. That's what it is with Eagle fans sometimes. It's like protecting your girlfriend. You say anything about Jalen Hurts? Holy shit. Flip-flop and hey, douchebag, in what? Flip-flop what? What are you talking about, flip-flopping? Dude, you just throw that shit out there? How about this? You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. NFC has dominated the NFC the last 20 years in Super Bowl because they had the elite quarterbacks. That's how you win Super Bowls, is with elite quarterbacking. Mahomes and Manning and Roethlisberger, absolutely. Okay, I mean, no question. Those guys all ran. Here, let me make the point to you here. Always Sunny. Does the Chiefs and the ref thing hold any cred, Sills, or is it bullshit? I'm sorry, man. I think those referees, I think they give him the Jordan rules. So, yes, I'm going to go there. I think it is a thing, and I do think it is. Okay? I do think it's a thing. By the way, Keith Byars will join us at 5:30. Please hit the like button. One of the legendary Philadelphia Eagles will join us. That'll be at 5:30. Xander's going to join us at 3:30. Seals, you literally said Stafford was a Hall of Famer before he played them. I looked at his numbers. So do you think a guy with an under 500 record is going to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Can you name me a quarterback in the last 45 years that have gotten into the Hall of Fame with a record under 500? I've just looked his record up. I think he's got a Hall of Fame arm, but he doesn't have Hall of Fame statistics and wins. He's got a Super Bowl. No question. I believe he's under 500 in the postseason. Ben Roethlisberger does. I mean, Roethlisberger never had a losing season. I mean, let's see. I mean, the dude's got an under 500. Name me one quarterback 40 years that has gotten into the Eli Manning has a 500 record. Stafford's not getting in. Somebody posts his record as a winner. Winning matters. You guys give Jalen credit for going and winning. Stafford also has to take the bumps for Detroit. Golf has turned Detroit around. He went up there and win. Zander wanted to know last week, will give Hurts credit if he wins the Super Bowl? The answer is no, the credit goes to the defense and Saquon. No, he gets credit, whether you want to give it to him or not. Quarterbacks get credit for those things. When you talk about the great quarterbacks of all time, unless you're Dan Marino or Warren Moon or people like that, the quarterback in the postseason gets a ton of credit, especially multiple appearances. He's no longer in the Trent Dilfer room. He's got to win one. But whether you want to or not, that's not the point. Eli Manning, 118 and 118. He's 500. And in the last 10 years, he's 29 games under 500. I don't know. He's going to get in because his last name's Manning. He's got 2 Super Bowl MVPs. He's going to get in. Seriously, Brad Johnson has 4 playoff wins. That's crazy. He's got more wins than Lamar Jackson. More wins than Lamar Jackson. I think he's got as many wins as Hurts. I mean, Seals, when is your next physical, bro? I'm worried about you. You're backtrack. I'm not backtracking everything you say on these court. What backtracking? What did I say that's backtracking? On what? What are you talking? I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. You might have changed your mind about Matt, but you said he's a Hall of Fame before. Until I looked his numbers up. I don't believe. Look, I just said it. I think he's got a Hall of Fame arm. But do you really think, here, let me ask you this. Do you think you're going to put a guy in that's got this record? Matt Stafford. Here, okay. If you think he's a Hall of Fame, I think he's a Hall of Fame talent. But you got to win, don't you? He's got a Super Bowl. So does Phil Simms. So he's 108 and 113 and 1. You think that's Hall of Fame worthy? Do you think that's Hall of Fame worthy? Stafford, 108 wins and 113 losses. Do you think that's Hall of Fame worthy? that a quarterback has won the last couple years? Do you really think that? That a quarterback, you can't name me. Get this, Brandon. You can't name me a quarterback that's gone into the Pro Football Hall of Fame with a losing record, except for Namath. He's the only one. Name me another one. Since 1963, when they were electing Hall of Fame players, there's only one quarterback in pro football with a losing record, and it's Namath. Fran Tarkenton doesn't have a losing record. He's the only one. You think Unitas had a losing record? You're out of your fucking mind. I mean, here. So it's a tougher. Hey, it's not a rip. It's just the cycle. Charlie Trippy. What was that? 1940? Okay. Hey, it's not a rip. It goes in cycles. AFC had him. NFC had him during McNabb. I'm just trying to, hey, I'm not a McNabb fan. I'm not going to quantify it either. Sills Hurts is like a Troy Aikman. Yeah. Okay. Dude, it's, wow. It's like talking about your girlfriend. You guys get all a little fucking crying and shit. Holy cow. You put some context to McNabb's career and you start crying. It's quite funny. You're my boy. I got my boy. Hit the like button, guy. My boy. You're talking about my guy. Can we win? You talk about my boy. I'm trying to put some context on that quarterback 5, and I'm trying to give the guy kudos, and you guys are like, no, he sucks. He's a vomiter. This guy carries a colostomy bag around with him to throw up in. You guys are fucking stupid. It's like I'm talking about your chick or your mom. Did you say something about my mom? I mean, Jalen. Is he saying that Jalen doesn't have to go through big-name quarterbacks like Brock Purdy and Dak? And Joey Johnson or whoever the fuck that guy was 2 years ago? Is that what you're saying? Hey, man, I don't know. Come on, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Hey, I don't have to know. I don't have to have a clue what I'm saying. I can read like you can, bro. I saw fucking who that guy, and I know who that guy played against, and I know who Hurts faces with opposing quarterbacks in the NFC. Not hard when you're playing Favre and Aikman versus Golf and Purdy. A little different, isn't it? How you doing? All right. Let's move on here. Let's go to key matchups now. My man, you talk about my guy. Jalen Hurts. Hey, by the way, I'm boycotting anything from fucking Canada. So if you're here from Canada, I'm boycotting you until you get your shit together. I don't need your milk. Remember something. The only thing in Canada that's worth the shit are titty bars, beer, and your hockey. That's it. Canada strong. Fuck, really? That's a first. Hey, do you know what they use for border crossing in Canada? A straw. Holy shit, man. Canada strong. Dude, the only thing I've had Canada late was Canada dry when I had sick and got agita. How you doing? Yeah, anything from Canada's fucking barred. Except your titty bars, your hockey, and your beer. Okay? How you doing? All right, let's do key matchups. Hit that like button. Appreciate you guys so much, man. Please hit the like button. You guys, great, man. All supers go to the top. Sorry, Elizabeth. Warren Moon's not from Canada. He's from Houston, Texas. Yeah, sorry, he ain't from Canada. I can't think of too many brothers that are from Canada that play in the NFL. Yeah, no, I don't think so. How you doing? All right. Key matchups. Okay. Here we go. Actually, I want to do one other one. Okay. Like button, G. Come on now, guys. Guys are all gangsters here. It's Super Bowl week. Have a good time, man. Thank you guys so much. All right. I'm going to do this one here. Let me ask you guys this. Things you think the Birds have to do and do better in Super Bowl 59 compared to what you did in Super Bowl 57. What do you guys think you have to do different on Sunday that maybe you didn't do 2 years ago? What do you have to do better? Okay? Prince, thank you. Hey, Prince. Okay. Prince, there you go. Hey, win. Okay, Jason. Okay. Kudos. Win. All right. Yes. Rowley just gave NFL permission to use the phrase three-peat in case the Chiefs win. Rigged. Oh, my God, man. That's awesome. Rigged. See, look at him. He puts a little asterisk there. Hey, we should start hashtag. If that refereeing goes bad and goes sideways, I want everybody at JAKIB to start hashtag NFL's rigged. Do we have an agreement whether you're on the side of Big Sills or not? Okay? Okay? We start a hashtag. All right? NFL is rigged. If that thing looks sideways, because I'm going to keep an eye on that. All right. Here's some of the things that I got written down here. Let me see. I wrote 7 of these things. By the way, Zander will join us at 3:30. And Keith Byars will join us at 5:30. Obviously. Thank you, Prince. Win. Okay? No doubt about it. 149? Not bad. See if we can get up to 300 again. Come on, guys. Number 2. Let me see. Okay. The guy north of the border. Halftime adjustments. Mr. Canada, what do you mean by halftime adjustments? Hey, Mr. Trudeau, what do you mean by halftime adjustments? Hey, LJ Trudeau, what's the hold the damn lead. Don't play soft on defense. LJ Trudeau, nice. I do like that, actually. Okay. LJ Trudeau. Oh, shit. All right, here's mine here. Mr. Trudeau, obviously protect the football. Gotta protect the football. Okay? Part of the reason you lost the football game, because the ball got on the carpet and the turnover hurt the Eagles in that ball game, especially in the 3-point differential, right? Would you agree, Mr. Trudeau? Yeah. Here, this is what you have to do better in Super Bowl 59 than in Super Bowl 57. I do like Mr. Trudeau's, LJ Justin Trudeau. I like his take. Halftime adjustments, and maybe even in-game adjustments. Here's another one. You guys had 115 yards rushing in Super Bowl 57. 70 of that came from Hurts. Got to be better. You got to run the ball better in this game. And this is where the addition of Barkley comes in. Got to run the ball better. Okay? Got to run the ball. I mean, 117 yards you ran against Kansas City the last time. Kansas City stopped the run, man. Hurts had 70 yards rushing, I believe, in 2000. And that's 57 Super Bowl. Big reasons they won last time. Two with special teams. We cannot make mistakes. That leads to good field position for them. That's right. And limit returns. Absolutely. They got to run the ball better, man. And I think they're going to run the ball better. Okay? Be disciplined on the flags. No flags. I think you guys had 6 penalties in that 57. So maybe limit that a little bit. You have to stop Kelce. Kelce had 6 catches for 81 yards. He's going to be a target in this game. By the way, he's a fan favorite, TV stars, old ladies there, you know, the whole thing with that stupid shit. Paisano. NFL rigged. There you go. Thank you for the super. You got to limit Jason Kelce in this ball game. You can't let this guy get going here, man. All right? Mahomes. Dude, don't let this guy get going running the ball. In your game, he had 6 carries for 44 yards. Last year, he had 64 yards. Yeah. And Kyle goes like this. Travis Swift. I thought it was Travis Pfizer. That's what a PF. I thought it was Travis Pfizer. Travis Pfizer. You've got to limit that guy. You cannot let that guy get going, man. Hey, Prince. So Prince has all of a sudden been left out of lockout after he was a January 6th guy, and they let his ass out. He's all big now because he got pardoned by Trump. And Elon sent him one of those Teslas. The thing you look like a refrigerator, but it's on wheels. I heard you, Prince. You were moaning, man. I heard you were a bitch when you were in lockup. Yeah, then the president came and pardoned your ass. And I heard it, man. I heard Elon had one of them rolling like refrigerators for you there, one of them Tesla trucks. How you doing? It had Prince's name right on the back. Moaning in jail. And I don't know what that means, moaning in jail. All I know is his bunkmate was named Chip. All right? That's all I know, Chip. Come on, Prince. He was locked up with one of his January 6 guys in the can in D.C. with a dude named Chip. All right. And then Elon gave him one of those Tesla trucks. All right. Number 5. 9 different receivers caught the football in Super Bowl 57. This dude's going to spread it around. Who said in here that you have to remain disciplined? I'm going to tell you guys something coming up here. There's one thing here. It's the next one. I can't believe you lost that game. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You lost that football game. You should be ashamed of yourself. Why do you think that was an absolute gag job by the Eagles. If Donovan McNabb choked, so did you. Okay? You choked this game away. You look back at the numbers, you choked. Do you not agree you choked this game away? Do you agree that this was a gag? Thanks, Sue. Gag job. Do you agree you gagged this game away? Okay? Here's why. You had 75 offensive football plays, and they ran 50 and beat you. They ran 25 less plays than you. My God almighty. If they would have ran 25 more plays than you, they'd have put a 50 burger on you. You ran 25 more plays, had a 10-point lead, and gagged it. I didn't realize, look, you can go, hey, the fumble, scoop, and score shit, but you gagged this thing. You had 25 more offensive football plays than the Kansas City Chiefs in 57, and you lost. And Mahomes didn't even throw for 200 yards. That's a gag job. Do you trust Vic, his game planning for this one? What does he have gone over Gannon from 22? What does he have over Gannon from 22? He's more experienced. He's not going to be fooled. I think it's great that he's actually game planned against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Guys, do me a favor. I missed the super chat, Zander. Xander's going to join us at the bottom of the hour, too. I missed the blue one, I think it was, Zander. So, guys, please, all super chats, we'll read them, I promise. Hey, Sills, what's on God's earth is a gag job. You had 75 plays, and they had 50? That's 20. They ran 25 more plays than you, or the Eagles ran 25 more plays than them. That's like 4 or 5 more series. And you had a 10-point lead. That's a gag job. If the injury bug bites, where are the Chiefs most vulnerable? What about the Birds? Chiefs can't get hurt in the O-line. And they cannot get hurt in the secondary. Okay? They cannot. Guys, I appreciate all the memberships and all the super chats. Thank you, guys. Does Xavier Worthy speed worry you? Speed always worries you, especially deep threat speed. Okay? That's something Kansas City hasn't had since Tyreek Hill. All right? Man, they ran 25 more, or the Eagles ran 25 more plays than Kansas City. And I've never heard that. And you got beat? You had a 10-point lead and you ran basically an entire full quarter more of plays than Kansas City. And you lost? Can't have that happen again. Don't let Kansas City have as many plays as you in this game to wipe you off the floor. You guys keep telling me how great you played in that game. You gagged that game. You played great. You limited them to 50 plays. Do you get, if you have two 10-play drives, that's half your offense for the entire 60 minutes. You ran an entire fifth quarter on them. That's pathetic. You got to be better at that, which means you got to make those plays count. God knows how many plays they ran in the second half. Not good. Here's another one. Hurts took 2 sacks in 57. You can't keep taking these sacks and being taken out of field position. He's not as good as he was in 22. You know, I love to hear people go like this. Mahomes is not the same. Mahomes is the same guy. Talent around him is not. Hurts can't make that distinction. He's got the same talent just about, and he got worse in the passing game. Think about that. Jalen's got the same talented people, except for Barkley, going into this game he had in 22. Kansas City has none of that. Every guy except Kelsey is different in skill set players. Every guy's different. No, Juju Smith-Schuster's there. He's there. Hollywood Brown is new, and so is Xavier Worthy. He's got a completely different group of dudes. Juju Smith-Schuster. He's a little better than Quez Watkins. Hey, gigging on Sunday. Fudge gagging. Okay? Gotcha. Okay? Look at this guy. He's here every day. Thank you for the algorithm. Spike talks shit for 4 hours. This guy Sileo's a bum. He's a fucking bum for 4 hours I'm here. And I hear him talking shit for 4 hours, 5 days a week. You would not believe it. 20 hours a week I'm here. And all I hear for 20 hours a week, he's a bum. Fuck this guy. I'm going to stop commenting as many times as I do. That spit. Hey, spit does this. This guy sucks. I can't believe I sit here for 20 hours a week. He's a bum. I listen for over an hour and a half to this bum. I mean, listen to him. Trust me, I'm an expert on Sileo. I see this piece of shit here for 5 days a week for 4 hours. How you doing? Triggered. Triggered? Is that a beer? I'm in a good mood, jackass. How could it not be? It's Super Bowl week. Show's growing like a weed. How you doing? I got people down in New Orleans going like this. Hey, Sills, you got time? Are you going to be around here? No, Big Sills don't show up for free in New Orleans. Somebody goes, are you going to be on Radio Row? I'm like, nah, I've been 18 of these things. That's not working for me. For me to leave my driveway, tell them, Zander, it's $5,000. Zander will tell you. This is what the building does on Fridays. I had to leave my driveway. $5,000, I'm leaving. I'm ready. Let's go. Right, okay? Hey, you going to go down to the Super Bowl sales and have a good time? No. Why? Because I don't care. That means I have to get an Uber and I have to actually put something into my phone and actually get on an app. Zander will tell you. You guys think this guy here, he has burner accounts? You're out of your mind. You should see how dumb this guy is. Good Radio Road story. I'll give you one. Okay. So I'm sitting here doing my show and I've got Eddie George with me. I should post a picture. I'm here and I'm doing a radio interview with Eddie George and I think Jeff Fisher. I don't know. I think it's Jeff Fisher. So we're sitting here, I'm talking, and out of the corner of my eye, I look up and I go, and Eddie George starts going, am I boring you? And I go, dude, I'm not going to lie to you. There's Sierra. And Eddie George goes like this. You want to stop the interview? I go, mm-hmm. Yeah. And so we just start doing play-by-play. Russell Wilson sees us, and Eddie's sitting here. His head's next to mine. And I'm watching Sierra walk towards us. And I'm like, on a scale of 1 to 10 of the most beautiful women on the planet you've ever seen, what do you think? He goes, 1? I go, yeah. She's walking by and she hears us, and I'm like, God bless you. Russell, God bless you. Russell Wilson starts doing this. Jeff Fisher puts his head down like this. I'm like, God bless you. God bless you. And so we go back, and Eddie looked at me and he goes, I think the Patriots were in the Super Bowl. And I go, I don't care, man. Giselle's a really good-looking woman, but that's top shelf. Yeah. Dude, Sierra, you got to see her in person. Unbelievable. She's walking towards me. Dude, seriously, I'm talking to Eddie George. We're talking about Ray Lewis and his battles and shit. And I start doing this. Eddie goes, am I boring you? I go, Eddie, I got to tell you, Sierra's over here. And he looked back at me. He goes, you want to stop the interview? I go, mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, I do. Actually, I just wanted to watch her walk by. Russell Wilson played it so great. He was great. We're sitting here going, yes, I see why Russell Wilson is an elite quarterback, and I see why Russell Wilson's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. And Eddie goes, why? I go, well, you got to play well to keep that. Russell Wilson shaking his head, walking by. I go, you can't be Kenny Pickett and Sierra as your old lady. You never see somebody like Sierra with Kenny Pickett. That's right. Sierra gets an elite. Oh, man. Hey, you ever see a backup quarterback with a hot, superstar woman? Never. Who do you think? Dan Orlovsky? What do you think he's going to have? Shakira? I don't think so. Shakira would go like this. Is that the guy on ESPN that talked shit and was a backup quarterback? Yeah. Shakira goes, she's only going to be with starters, man. I mean, seriously, the worst guy she could possibly be with would be Trevor Lawrence. Florida, I like the heat. Man. All good. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Really appreciate you guys so much, man. Having a lot of fun here. It is Super Bowl 59 week. Do me a favor. Please hit that like button here. We're going to talk to Zander here in a second. We'll get his thoughts, too, on what he's seen here. Media last night, I saw some of the comments that were made towards Jalen Hurts, and you get some really weirdo comments. I like the comments, though, because I'll tell you, more eyeballs that you get to the sport, the better it is for the exposure of the sport. That's what the NFL and why the NFL is so king right now is because it's intertwined with entertainment. It's the most watched television shows in America every year, the Super Bowls and the regular season games. There's nothing on network television that comes close to this shit. This is what makes the NFL one of the best. Oh, by the way, we just got a text here. And are you guys cool on who's the guy's name? Let's see here. This is your new OC. Is it Nussmeier? Is that it? Nussmeier's your new OC? Is that right? Oh, no, Kevin Patullo. Oh, Kevin Patullo is going to improve Hurts' passing because was he the passing coordinator this year? So you're going to elevate Kevin Patullo. Hey, by the way, it ends in O. So I'm good because, all great Italians end in O. Pacino, De Niro, Marino, DiMaggio. How you doing? Hey, Prince. Sorry, bro. I heard the guy's name was Chip. It's all good, kid. Without further ado, hit that like button. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you guys so much for the super chat. Thoughts on snow bunnies? Well, are you talking about the ones you eat like on Easter? Those stupid snow bunnies? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about snow bunnies like gummy bear snow bunnies? Okay. Is that what we're doing here? I hate those Easter stuff. I can't stand it. And that shit you get during Halloween, that corn candy. I can't stand that shit either, man. All right. Enough fun here. Matchups. Super Bowl 59. I'm going to ask Zander right out of the gate this question. What do they have to do in Super Bowl 59 that they didn't do in Super Bowl 57, or maybe something they have to avoid that happened in Super Bowl 57? Hit the like button. Without further ado, hardest working man in Philly. Did I tune it on? It doesn't matter if it's 2:30 a.m. or if it's 2:30 at midnight. This afternoon. This guy is on all the time now. He is the hardest working man we have here. John's on his way down to New Orleans tomorrow, too. Hey, John, remember what I told you. Always keep your hands above the bar when you're down there in New Orleans. You never know what you're going to get. There could be a few cannolis down there. You know, John, I don't think he's a man of the world. And I just make sure if you go to Pat O'Brien's, man, you ask to be seated near the door. Without further ado, our good friend, Big C, Zander Krauss.
What's up, Big Sills?
How you doing?
I've been laughing for 90 minutes at the show today. I can't stop laughing between you and the chat and Snow Bunnies and Diddy and all sorts of other things. You guys are hilarious today, so I'm having a pretty good day. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, it's fun, man. Super Bowl 59, dude. I mean, you're not having fun right now. It's all good. I mean, your team belongs in this game. They are the two best teams in pro football, and actually, you could probably say they've been the two best teams for the last 3 years when it comes to both NFC and AFC. Hey, you know what I was doing earlier, Zander, when I was matching people up, and then I tried to give some kudos to McNabb. That's not a diss. It goes in cycles that you have sometimes. Look at back in McNabb's era. McNabb had all those really great Favre guys and Eli and all those guys that were in the NFC at that time. Now you have them in the AFC.
Yeah, you're right.
During Brady's time, you had what? Roethlisberger, you had Rivers, you had Brady. I mean, you had so many great players. Everyone's like, hey, man, what do you say? Jalen had an easier – no, Jalen didn't have to go through the quarterbacks that some of these guys have to. It's not a diss. It just goes in cycles. Holy cow, some of these guys think you're talking about their girlfriend.
I'm the only one I'm changing now is I will take Jalen Hurts over McNabb. I'm sorry, man. I've seen Jalen perform.
Better player.
I didn't say that. You said all Super Bowl team. McNabb didn't play like that in the Super Bowl. I'm taking Jalen Hurts. 22 Jalen Hurts is one of the best quarterbacks in Eagle history. That year of Jalen Hurts.
Okay, that year, so you thought he was better than McNabb in 04? When McNabb was throwing,
it's tough for me because I was 6 years old in 04. Okay. How much, you know what I mean? How am I supposed to give you an honest answer about which of those players?
Alshon Jeffries, Freddie Mitchell, and some other who's the other guy? Todd Pinkston. Those were his receivers that he was throwing to.
All right, one guy puked in the Super Bowl. One guy delivered one of the best performances of his year. So.
T.O. was amazing in that Super Bowl too, man.
I mean, he was coming off what did he have? Like a broken foot or what did he have that year?
He had like 11 catches too for 138, 140 yards in that game too. What do you make of Kevin Patullo's name along with – dude, I told you Frank Reich's name is in this, but again, this goes back to the money that David Tepper owes him. I don't know what Frank is going to do there because Frank could sit on the beach, make $7-8 million and not have to do anything for the next 2 years. I mean, but Kevin Patullo, what can he possibly bring to the offense that Kellen Moore didn't?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I knew it was going to be him because John McMullen told me a week ago when you did your exercise of possible replacements, I ran it by John, and he said Kevin Patullo. And, you know, John seemed like he had an inside track when he said it. So, yeah, I think they're probably going to go with Kevin Patullo, but we'll see what they end up doing there. It doesn't excite me too much. I mean, he's the guy who's closest to Nick Sirianni, and John's estimation is that Nick Sirianni has built back up the equity to be able to make his decision, decision again. So I don't know. It's the whole thing is weird. Did you hear the owner last night kind of not criticize him, but like just a weird answer on the head coach where he's like, yeah, his emotions, that's one of his strengths and one of his weaknesses. And I'm like, great, your boss publicly stating 5 days before the biggest game of your career what your weaknesses are.
And he wouldn't answer on the extension.
Right. It was just weird. I'm like, bro, come on, man. This guy's won a lot of football games for you. Give him credit and keep it moving. It's very simple to do. But nah, yeah, I'm not hugely enamored with Kevin Patullo, but I wasn't hugely enamored with Kellen Moore.
Wait, so the owner of the Eagles has the same opinion of the head coach that me and Dick Vermeil have. Interesting.
Stop lumping Dick Vermeil. Dick Vermeil is going to call you and say, what the hell are you telling people I said about Nick Sirianni?
He's in Key West. I'm good.
You're right. You're
I'm good. All right. So what do you think the Eagles have to do better in Super Bowl 59 that they didn't do in 57, or something that they had to keep away from?
Well, I think the biggest difference in the game is that the defense isn't going to look like they did in 57. I mean, they were a great defense in 22. You could make the argument which one of those was a better defense. But in the Super Bowl, that was not the number 1 or number 2 overall defense in the NFL. They didn't play like it in the Super Bowl. Now, you could say the field. You can say all sorts of different things. You can say it was whatever reason. I think the defense is going to be better this year. I think they're going to be more disciplined, more sound, better coaching with Vic Fangio. I don't anticipate the field is going to be an issue. Not again, and I'm not using that as an excuse. The Chiefs had to play on that field too, but it did mitigate what the defense was on both sides were able to do. So I think that's going to be the biggest difference. And then you had in Saquon Barkley, you had Miles Sanders and Kenny Gainwell that had 14 carries for 28 yards or whatever the hell it was in Super Bowl 57. You're not going to get that from Saquon Barkley in this game. So those are the two big differences. That's what we've rode all year long, baby. What are we, 17-3?
Those are all nice theories.
All right, what's your theory?
Those are all nice theories. I hope that you apply them on and be good students and apply them on Sunday.
Well, in all seriousness, I liked what Fletcher Cox texted A.J. Brown. Do you see what he texted A.J. Brown? He said, what you've done up to this point, everybody, means nothing. And if that's we've been saying that on this show for the last week, that you can be the number 1 defense, you can be the number 1 offense, the best running back, best quarterback, best wide receiver for 20 games. If you don't show up in the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter. And you know, Fletcher Cox texted that to AJ Brown, and AJ said he needed to hear that. So that was pretty good, I thought. You know, go out there, perform. So I like that.
Hey, Prince, you were in solitary confinement for January 6th, so be quiet over there.
We got you hot Johnson, baby.
Hey, you be quiet over there. How about this one here? Do you not agree that they have to run the ball better? They did have 115 yards rushing in that game, but 70 of it came from Hurts, dude. They got, and here's Barkley's addition to what you just said, that Barkley, I think he's going to go for 200 yards. I do.
Dude, if he does that, you're not going to predict the Chiefs win this game. I know nothing about what Sileo will predict on Friday, but I say he's told me 3 times in the last 5 days that Saquon Barkley is going to have 200 yards. Yeah. You don't pick a running back to go for 200 yards in a Super Bowl and then pick that team to lose the game. It defies everything about football. And by the way, you're looking at a guy who loves physical football. Sileo will be picking the Birds on Friday if I can read the
You want me to pick against Patrick Mahomes?
I'm not telling you to do anything. You can pick whoever the hell you want. I am assuming that you're going to pick the Philadelphia Eagles because of what you've said so far.
All right. You agree you gagged that 57 game away.
What do you mean gag it?
You had 75 offensive plays. They ran 50.
Can we pause, man? What is going on with this show today? Holy mackerel. What do you mean gagged it away?
Like this, gagged the freaking game
I got
away.
you. What do you mean specifically?
You choked.
We choked it. I don't know. Did we choke it?
You had a 10-point lead and you ran 25 more plays.
Oh, God. That's tough
You
to
lose that.
Yeah, we should have
told me.
I don't know. It didn't feel to me though like we had a massive letdown. I know Chiefs came back. The Chiefs had a better second half, but I don't know.
Bro,
I don't know if that's
ran 25 more freaking plays. That's a full quarter.
Dude, gagging it is being up 25.
That's up 10 and you ran 25 more offensive football plays than they ran 50 and beat you.
Yeah, but how many did we have in the first half?
Threw for 100 yards. How does he beat you?
How many more did we run in the first half though? Because we controlled the first half of that game.
Dude, to me, when you look at the box score in that game, that thing should have been 40-20 Eagles. I mean, nobody in that game had a great game. The quarterback didn't. Kelsey had 81 yards. There was nobody else in that. Who the fuck else played well? You're telling me you didn't gag that with a 10-point lead and you ran 25 more plays, and you're talking about
No, I'm not telling you that. We delivered. We played good in that game. The defense didn't. The offense played good. Jalen Hurts, that was the best game I've ever seen Jalen Hurts play in his entire life. I've never seen him perform better than that game.
True. He's never duplicated it since, but of course, your theory is
I'm not saying I never said you were wrong about that. I never said you were wrong about that.
The chances of him playing like that in this game are.
You can't say high. I mean, he's had how many games and he's only done.
Well, and plus they're not going to want him to. Because they're going to hand the ball off a lot here in this game. I think.
Pumper, I know he lost the game, but are you going to sit here and tell me he didn't play well?
He did.
He played well. Come on, Pump. Pump. I crushed him for that turnover. You spotted the Chiefs 7 points. You don't win games in the Super Bowl when you spot the Chiefs 7 points.
Hey, Pump.
But to say that he didn't play well. Come on.
Hey, Pump. He had 300 yards passing. He had 70 rushing.
And they were some dots, man. Some of those throws he had to Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith. Come on, man. That was a good performance by Jalen Hurts. But
see, every time I talk about that game, though, to people in Philly or Eagle fans, he played so good and long.
Well, that's true. You know, ultimately, that's what shows you, though, that it's not all about that. You can have a great game as a quarterback and not win the game. So
you can run for 200 yards and not win the bitch either, guy.
I don't know. Your projection off of 200 yards is going to be that Jalen Hurts is going to drop a Brian Pumper-sized stinker. It's not going to happen in my book. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be better than that, and he's going to be enough to make up the difference. Plus the defense, plus Saquon. I don't know.
Wow, man. The owner of the Eagles believes what I believe in with Nick Pinocchio. He believes what I believe with him. He won't give – why is it so hard to give that guy kudos?
Who, Nick?
Yeah.
It's not hard for me. He's growing on me.
How come the owner can't?
He's growing on me. I don't know, because here's what I hate about the owner.
But the owner, okay?
I get it. The owner's good. All right. Not everybody's going to like my take on the Eagles owner. He's not my favorite dude. All right. He's just not my type of guy. I get it. He's good. He's been successful. He's completely changed the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not denying that. But his mentality on things is just not my cup of tea. Like he was interviewed on the Insider show before the media night last night. It was like 7:30 or 7:40 or whatever. And they got asked about the adversity of the season, all right, the last 3 years, right, going to the Super Bowl, collapsing, getting back to the Super Bowl. And he's talking about the highs and lows of life and how it's all, it's a part of life and football is like life. And he goes back to the Super Bowl and he goes, yeah, the adversity really started when we had 1 minute and 38 seconds left, and everything got thrown out the window and we never got a chance to go back. And I'm like, so you're telling me in your eyes, as the owner of the football team, the adversity was the refs throwing a flag on your player, not you losing the football game. I'm sorry, but that right there is an escape of accountability. I don't believe in escaping accountability. All right. That's a victim mentality. I don't subscribe to that. I don't like it. I don't believe in it. And I think it's stupid. So that's where I don't like our owner, but he's been a great owner. And I think he believes, right or wrong, that him and Howie Roseman are more responsible for this team's success than any player or any coach. I don't agree with him on that, but I think that's what he believes.
Yeah, he probably likes rainbow trout. I'll leave it at that. I don't know. Guys, do me a favor. Hit the like button. All supers will be read. Hey, somebody in here goes like this. Look at this guy here, 41.
I never said he wasn't a top 5 owner. He probably is a top 5 owner. I would agree with that.
Hurts outscored Patrick in Super Bowl 57. Yeah, but Patrick Mahomes outplayed him when it mattered.
Yeah, what kind of comment is that? It's a team game, brother.
No shit.
I mean, I know how shitty the last owner. See, I knew everybody was going to have a freak out about that because they all get their pennies in a bunch. I told you he's been a great owner. He's probably a top 3 owner in the NFL. I don't subscribe to his philosophies about things. The There's a lot of humans. There's 8 billion of us on the planet. You know, we're not a monolith, everybody. Everybody thinks a different way. That's what makes the world go round. Good night, these people.
This would bug me, though. This would bug me, and I would have to revoke your man card, Zander, in every Philadelphia sports fan's man card. You ready? You put a lid on the top of that fucking Lincoln Financial and you make that bitch a dome. Dude, you will lose who you are, man. Look at the Vikings have never been back. They went to 4 Super Bowls. We're going every other year. They put the lid on the top of their stadium. They've never gone back.
Dude, we better not do that. But here's the part I struggle, okay, with. I understand it as a business owner. Think about what he can do with the stadium. I'm not saying you're not wrong about the football thing, but I'm telling you, there's a guy that owns a $7, $8, $9, $10 billion football team. Okay. I can spend $750 million, bring Olympics, bring Super Bowls, bring all these different events to this city, the tourism, everything that comes with that. When you look at it from a businessman, it makes sense. When you look at it from a football fan, it's like, please, for the love of God, do not put a dome on the Philadelphia Eagles Stadium. It's a tough thing to gauge. I get it. I understand both sides of it. I understand wanting to be great in business. I understand that desire, and Larry is good at it. I just told you I don't like his mentality. He's a damn good businessman. He's a damn good businessman. There's no doubt about that. So
everything you just said is all smart and all, but I sit in the stands with the fans. I don't sit in the yacht.
I
don't sit on a yacht.
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
right.
I'm not a
you and me
yacht,
both, brother.
Right?
You and me both. You're not wrong.
I mean, I get it too. And like you said, if you're really gonna have a transparent conversation, hey, look, he wants to bring WrestleMania in the winter months. He wants to have conventions. He wants to have Super Bowls. He wants to do all kinds of events there in Philadelphia. Dome gives you more of that opportunity. I get it, but man, I thought he was the owner of the Eagles. I thought he wasn't a civil servant.
Yeah,
was he trying to run for fucking mayor?
No, he's trying to turn 7 billion into 15 billion is what he's trying to do. Come on, call a spade a spade. That's what he's trying to do.
Okay, well, you know what I
look.
like?
This guy's right. And by the way, I wonder who this is. This looks like a C24 burner because that right there is the all-time old JAKIB logo. You can see that was like, we had somebody make that sucker on like.
I don't even think I was here for that bitch.
No, you weren't. That's crazy old right there. Larry wants a passing team and to be the gold standard. He is building a dome. Correct. That's it. This guy's right. Whether we like it or not, that's what Larry's mindset is.
Well, then you got the wrong quarterback for that.
Nah.
Oh, nah. He's gone down every year. He's thrown the ball in Philly, but hey, okay. He had a terrible year throwing the ball. I don't care how anybody looks at it.
Well, look, every year's look different, and there's been moments where you needed him to be a great passer.
Okay, so last year, third in the league in turnovers. This year, he has one of the worst passing numbers in the league for any starting quarterback, and he's taken 45 sacks. You think he's gotten better since 22?
Okay, but can I ask you a question? What do you value? Because Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen have both had incredible years.
There's better teams around. You just said it's a team sport.
Well, yeah. So I value having a good team and Jalen doing whatever he needs to do in any given game to be able to win a football game in advance. He needed to pass versus the Commanders. He didn't really. That was a bit real. He didn't really, but he did. Okay, and it was successful. He needed to pass versus Steelers. Take one at 60 yards. He did. We won the football game. It looks different. That's Jalen. That's what he keeps telling us, and he continues to be right about it. At some point, I'm going to start to believe the guy. 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. I got to believe the dude. I'm surprised you don't a little bit more.
Because, again, here, let me do this. You think that guy's the centerpiece of your football team?
No. I'm not going to live in delusion. I'm not going to be forced into a box that I live in delusion land. No. I think Jalen's done a good job in what his role needs to be for this team.
Do you know what it does do, though? It's a fail-safe if he gets hurt. That you're set up to win. I'm not saying you would win at the same clip he does, but you're set up to keep continuing to win if you had a disaster. Because you know why? The quarterback's not the centerpiece of this. The centerpiece is that old line, really. You just got a better running back this year.
Yeah.
Okay. What is What has changed from last year? Two things: turnovers and Saquon. Correct? On offense.
And defense. The defense is way better this year.
Defense has helped the offense for sure.
Yeah, the defense is way better. Dude, we don't give up many points a game. Like you can get away with the running game. Yeah, your team gives up 28 points a game. I mean, all right, you might have to pass a little bit more. We don't have to do that because we have a great defense.
Hey,
but
you're
right. The two biggest changes are certainly that. I agree.
Hey, when you give up 17 points a game, that's 1990s shit when you're keeping your players because of lack of free agency, man, and having the salary cap. That's pre-cap shit. They're doing shit that's pre-cap with what Vic Fangio's doing. No question about it, man. I mean, just great. All right. I wrote these key matchups down. I'm going to do these with you here. By the way, Keith Byars will join us at 5:30. Key matchups. Do you agree? Hurts handling Spagnuolo's blitz packages. Dude cannot take sacks in these games against him. Cannot take sacks.
You're 100%
Has
right.
to handle the blitz packages that Steve Spagnuolo has. You agree?
I 100% agree. And that's probably the most important. When you're talking about the Eagles offense, that's probably the most important thing because I think the Chiefs are probably going to live with whatever Saquon does. I mean, look, you can come into the game. We're going to try and limit him. We're not going to stop the guy. You know that. It's can we limit the damage? And I think they know that about Saquon. So it is on Jalen. And if you do take sacks, you're going to change up your running game and how much you can use that. And third and long situation, that's what Steve Spags wants. If he can get third and long situations, one, he can bring pressure. Two, he can force Jalen Hurts to throw the football where Jalen might not want to throw the football. And that's where you can create potential positive plays for your defense. So third and long is what the Chiefs what the Chiefs defense want. And that's what the Eagles offense doesn't want. So it's kind of the battle right there. If you're talking Eagles offensively, that's probably the biggest thing right there. What you just said.
Number two, how in the world are the Chiefs and that D line once again? And I'm going to continue to hammer this point until Sunday in the pregame show.
Okay.
I don't know how you're going to handle that Eagle line. I mean, Kansas City's going to have to do stunts, move guys around, 5 fronts, things that maybe they haven't done because I don't believe they have 4 guys that can play against their 5 guys. I mean, it's 4 against 5 great. Dude, you could actually, if you wanted to put a Pro Bowl, my Pro Bowl O-line, I'll take the Eagles and you can come up with the NFC offensive line. I'll take the Eagle O-line over anybody you put in the league. You know why? They played together, and they had a 2,000-yard rusher this year, and they're in the Super Bowl.
All right, how much does the impact of going up against Chris Jones have on a guy like Mekhi Becton? He's been really good this year, but has he dealt with that? And Juergens, right, first-year starter at center. I'm not saying those guys haven't been great. I do believe in them, but you got Chris Jones. That's a different beast. I mean, he makes great players look like trash. That's what great players do. That's what Jalen Carter does to offensive linemen. So, man, I think that could be interesting.
If I'm Mekhi Becton's agent, I'm in his ear doing this. You block that fucking guy, Chris Jones. In this coming off season, you'll be one of the top 3 most coveted players in free agency, and you win the Super Bowl. Think about what Becton. This is a money game for Becton.
Oh, I want this Super Bowl, man. Every time we mention the Eagles being in the Super Bowl, I want that Super Bowl. We're gonna get it. I know it. I know because Big Sills has been dreading this moment for weeks now. He's like, "Is there really? What am I gonna do on the post-game show? Oh my God! If the Eagles win the Super Bowl trophy,
you will be right, or I'll be right." See. That's called, my friend, sports talk.
Yes, it is.
There's no fence straddling.
Sileo is the king of not fence. I think people should appreciate that more. I really do. You hear all these other. I was listening to some, just to go back to the NFC Championship game real quick. I was listening to some content on the Commanders. Dude, I couldn't listen to that if I was a Commander fan. I mean, you had guys who were supposed to be objective and beat reporters like glazing. look at what Jaden Daniels has done. I'm like, all right, he's had a good year, but like cover the game objectively. They weren't doing anything. I think people should appreciate
He played a great
the
game, but
coverage.
he wasn't enough.
Yeah, he played all
wasn't
right.
enough.
He played okay. His players didn't help him, but he didn't play great.
252, 21 of 28.
Yeah, he had his lower
50 yards rush. I don't think he played poor. He showed.
I didn't say poor. I just don't think he played.
He's the only guy that showed up.
I don't think he played exceptional. He had one of his lowest passer ratings of the year. He was okay in that game, but I will admit he didn't get much help from the guys around him.
And Hurts winning that NFC title game, averaging 92 net yards in 2 games. Oh, great year. All right.
Oh, my
Number
God.
3.
And who won the football game?
Number 3. Dude, I think, and I went back and I watched the playoff games for the Chiefs. Dude, they struggle at linebacker covering tight ends. They struggle covering tight ends. I mean, do you get Goddard going in that game? Because Drew Tranquil and the other guy are not that great at covering those tight ends. They've got to get pressure on that guy, man. I'm talking, I mean, they don't do a very good job, man. Okay? They just don't. So that's something to keep an eye on. He's Kansas City's linebackers versus A.J. Brown and Devontae.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And Devontae's been kind of a Kansas City Chief killer. He's averaging over 100 yards per game in 3 games versus the Chiefs. So he's been pretty good against them. He's been the guy that's able to get open. And, you know, we'll see. I do think A.J. Brown, I don't know how they're going to play A.J. I don't know. Do you think they're going to put McDuffie on him and stick him on there?
Yep. He may travel.
Yeah, if he travels, then I think A.J. I'm not saying A.J. won't get the better of him here and there, but you're going to have a hard day if you're going up against McDuffie man-to-man coverage all day. I mean, it's going to be a tough day for him. So, yeah, Devontae could thrive in that. So we'll see. I like that, though. I think it goes both ways, though. The Eagles better cover those tight ends, too, on the other side. They got 2 of them.
We are the champions.
You're going to be singing that about the Eagles on Sunday. You're going to be singing that about the Eagles on Sunday.
Am I?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Going against Mahomes.
You're not gonna be a grump on the postgame show, are you?
Hey, it's Tuesday. Give me a break here.
Is it Tuesday? That's it? Oh my God. I thought it was like Thursday. Tuesday?
It's Tuesday, guy.
Oh man. I thought we were way deeper. We still got 5 days.
Hey, it's trash day for me. What the fuck, man? It's Tuesday. Man. Hey.
Yeah, I'll hit you with that on Friday.
Hey. Zach Bond versus Patrick Mahomes. How do you like that matchup?
I mean, you're asking me about a guy who's a one-year wonder going up against a Hall of Fame level quarterback. Yeah, probably not the greatest matchup for Zach Bond. Do I think he's good enough to make an impact? Yes, I do. Do I think he's going to get the better of him every time? No, I do not. But I do think he's going to be better than we had in 22. And I think he's going to make them work for it. All right. He's going to make them work for it. And we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I love Zach Bond. You're not picking him over Patrick Mahomes in a matchup. Come on.
He's one of my favorites to win the most valuable player award in this game.
Zach?
Yeah.
Holy crap. I like that, actually. I can see that.
He is.
He's been the playmaker all year for the defense. He's the guy punching out fumbles. He's the guy recovering fumbles. He had a couple interceptions, I think, this year. He's been the guy. So if it's a defensive game for the Birds, maybe you're right.
If he has 2 picks in this game, he'll be the most valuable player.
Or a pick and a forced fumble, a couple tackles for losses. Sack.
Okay. I think the last time a linebacker won the MVP award, I mean, I think it's got to be Von Miller and Ray.
I know Von Miller won. What year?
Ray won too. Ray Lewis won an MVP.
What year was that? 2015?
It was the year they played the Niners.
No, I'm talking about Von Miller's. I'm talking about Von Miller's.
Oh, they played
15?
Seattle in the Super Bowl. Is that when he won that MVP award?
I thought it was like 2015, I want to say. Super Bowl 50, which was...
Wow. That's a ways to go, man.
I know, man. Our world is moving quickly, doesn't it? Doesn't feel like it was named that long ago. Yeah, 2016. So it was the 2015 season. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
that's what I thought it was.
Oh, beat the Panthers. That's right.
Yeah.
Beat the Panthers.
Yeah. Was that against Cam Newton?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, Von Miller was a beast in that game. Yeah, and he's a linebacker, but was he a linebacker or like an edge rusher? He's not like an off-ball
No, he's an
linebacker.
edge guy. He's not
Yeah,
like
he wasn't an off-ball edge guy or a off-ball linebacker guy.
See, because I think you're going to have Zach Bond on Kelsey too. He's going to be going against Mahomes and Kelsey.
Yeah, it's a tough day. But Kelsey's not the same guy this year. You admit that? You agree with that?
Yeah. He's on the back nine. But I would say this, one game, 60 minutes. I think old man Kelsey can hit up 35 for 60. I think he can probably do that. I don't think he can give you stretches of games any longer like he did in the past.
That's my favorite part about the Super Bowl. It's one game.
Yeah.
And anybody can be elite. I mean, think about it. Who was elite in the Super Bowl in 22? Jalen Hurts was elite. Patrick Mahomes was pretty elite. Kadarius Toney was elite. That for 60 minutes. Not saying he's an elite player. For 60 minutes, he had a touchdown and a massive punt return that put them in game-winning field goal or field position to take over that football game in the fourth quarter. That's my favorite part about the Super Bowl. I don't give a shit you're the number one defense. I don't give a shit about 2,900 passing yards. I don't care about 2,400 rushing yards. 60 minutes. Go and do it. If Saquon Barkley has 60 yards in this Eagles game and they lose, yeah, that one.
I'm going to make a little public service announcement. If Saquon Barkley has 60 yards rushing in this football game and Hurts has 3 picks, don't show up for some of you because it will be very difficult for you to hear.
Hurts isn't going to have 3 picks. They don't force the ball downfield like that. They don't throw the ball into tight windows enough for it to have 3 picks.
So if you get behind by 14 points to the Chiefs, you think?
Okay, let me ask you. The Chiefs haven't been ahead by 14 points at any point in this season.
Hey, you throw theories at me that you're going to run them over, so I'll throw a theory at you. If they're up by 14, I mean, you're going to have to start throwing the ball with the boy wonder.
I never said that. Do you agree with this? Because this is what John McMullen said. We were talking about this. I'm not going to predict a blowout, okay? I'm not. I'm telling you right now. My prediction on Friday is not going to be a blowout. But the Eagles are more capable of blowing them out. That, like, if the Chiefs win the game,
why?
I think it's going to be a close game. If the Eagles win the game, it could be close, but it could also be a blowout.
More set up for a blowout than the Kansas City?
I think they have a better running game. I think they can close out a game better, and I think they have a better defense.
Well, they don't close many games out. They keep everybody in the game because they don't have a passing game. Name me one. Dude, you were in games against Jacksonville. You were in games against Jacksonville, the Rams. Every one of those games.
Those are 4 or 5 games of a 20-game year. I mean, they've had games where they've also had game stills where they.
How many one-score games have you guys won this year yourself?
Not as many as the Chiefs.
Okay, the Chiefs don't have near the talent you have.
No, but come on, how many games have you seen Saquon Barkley have a 60-yard run in the fourth quarter to ice the game?
No, but how many games, dude? You're in games versus the Jags. I mean,
dude, that is bullshit. You know that's bullshit.
They had the ball on the 13-yard line going in.
Chiefs beat the Panthers on a field goal.
Hey, wait, the 2 teams that are in the top 5 in the draft in April, the last possession, they were on the 10 going in. No, you closed the
look
Jags.
at Jay Brown. Jay Brown, good to have you back. Jay Brown says winning a one-score game.
Jags and
now the pendulum. Now the table has turned. The goalpost has been carried from outside of the United States. We're actually joining our friends up in Canada with the goalpost now, and we've delivered the goalpost to Canada. Now you have to win by more than 1 score. You got to be kidding me, Sills.
No, hey, Canada. The football field's wider and longer in Canada. What the fuck do they know about football? Actually, I played in Canada.
I like how you're taking shots at Canada all day. That was really funny.
Yeah, hey, LJ Trudeau, he had to leave and go back and milk his cow.
Yeah, he might have. He might have.
All right, how about this one here? Jalen Carter versus Trey Smith and Joe Thuney. Both these guys are first-team All-Pros, but still Carter, who's just been absolutely insane great, man. I mean, that's something to keep an eye on because I think Jalen Carter has to have a big internal game because if you're going to pressure Mahomes, I don't think it's off the perimeter. I think it's going to be up in his face. That's where you've got to get him moving around in that pocket, and then you've got to get contained with Sweat. Josh Sweat, by the way, is got to contain along with Nolan Smith. They've got to keep those guys. You got to keep them in the pocket and in the sandbox.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. And by the way, I think Nolan Smith is a guy to watch in this game. Not because I'm high on him, because of what he's done. That's part of it. But I don't like Jawan Taylor versus him at all. Jawan Taylor, he's fat. Nolan Smith is fast. Jawan Taylor struggles with speed. He is going. I'm going to bet you that he's going to have at least one offensive holding call in this football game. Now, maybe if the refs are holding their flags, which, by the way, I won't be mad. I like when refs let guys play, especially in playoff football.
That doesn't favor you.
I know it doesn't favor me, but I'd rather let the football game be played and let the best team win. Who's going to be more physical? Who's going to down? That's why I tweeted out, and everybody got all mad at me on might have been the NFC Championship game when they called the flag on Saquon for stepping out of bounds. I'm like, that was a shit call. Let the guys play. It's the NFC Championship game. The best running back in the league is making forward progress, stepping out of bounds. The guy's allowed to hit him. It's a shit call. I like letting the guys play. So maybe they won't, but Jawan Taylor's going to be holding Nolan Smith all game.
I got to tell you, the two worst penalties or the two worst situation referees are put in, the NBA refs dictate on a fifth foul or sixth foul who's in the game or not. I mean, it's all subjective. And then pass interference. And if you let those guys play, that ref is sitting there doing, Patrick Mahomes got to be PI. I don't know. It's Jalen Hurts. That can't be PI. That's what I'm getting. That's the – dude, if Hurts was playing against Jaden Daniels, Hurts is going to get that call. But he's playing against Mahomes. Oh, pass interference. Are you fucking kidding me, guys?
All right, let me ask you something.
I think that's the thing. It's called Jordan rules.
No, you're right. You're right. Have Eagles fans succeeded in this regard? Okay. Hear me out here. Is it possible that we have now tipped the pendulum where I know people have complained about officials in the past. I've never heard Roger Goodell, now the head of the official court or whatever that group was, came out today and responded to it. These are ridiculous claims. We have now made them answer to it. So I don't care. There's human elements to this. These officials are human beings. They are going into this game knowing, okay, everybody is watching. Now, I'm not saying that's going to change them. Maybe they'll still call it for the Chiefs. Maybe he'll still get all the calls. It's possible. But there's a heightened awareness in the air right now about officials. Goodell, the commissioner of the league, is answering about it. Another dude came out today and spoke about it. Oh, this is a BS narrative, blah, 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 blah. I think we could have switched the pendulum, baby. We could have shifted it back, and now they're going to be giving the Eagles calls. Well done, Eagles fans.
Well, I'll tell you something, man. This guy swings always on the positive side for Philly.
Oh, bullshit. You've been telling me to be negative all year long. We're in the damn Super Bowl. I'm going to be insufferable to you for a couple of days, and you're going to like it.
Hey, let me do this now. Oh, well, if you guys start going back to what you want to do in 23, you'll never get back to the Super Bowl. You do this, what you're doing now, you'll get to many. Don't worry, I've got it all planned out already. So if we're going to go with your theory, my friend, and you think you swung the pendulum, so let's just have a shits and giggles conversation here. What's best for the league? What's best for the face of the franchise? Hurts, who can't throw, or Mahomes.
Stop
or Mahomes, who Mahomes is a generational player.
Come on, man.
Generational player. Mahomes, generational player. Jalen Hurts, 2903. I don't. What's best for a passing lead? What's best for a passing lead? A mailman or the guy who delivers?
All right, you want to go money? You want to go business? What's a better city? What's a city that breeds more money? Kansas City or Philadelphia?
What's a more recognized franchise, Kansas City or Philly? Kansas City got 5 rings.
Well, yeah. Now, I mean, that might be a tough one to answer now. But
You know what? Really, all
I
seriousness,
still think it's Philly because
Me
of the size of the market. Yeah.
me too. Remember something: the Tiffany division in football is the NFC East. Why? Look, Cowboys, DC, New York, and Philly. It's the only division in all of football that every team in the divisions won a Super Bowl. Kansas City's boring. Yeah, pretty much. I've been there. Great stadium.
Boring ass place. No economic.
What do you think is a more recognizable helmet? Eagle helmet or KC's helmet?
Eagle helmet, iconic. Dude, we're the Eagles. Think about that. This is no Eagle homer involved. That's the best mascot in football. I don't care what anybody says.
It's the best flyover ever.
It's the best mascot in football. It really is. It's the bird of America.
That bird flying in is the best thing I've ever seen.
It's the best mascot in football.
That's the best thing I've ever. I don't keep your fucking Jets.
Wait, I got something.
Flying that bird in, man.
I got something.
Is awesome.
I got something for you. Check it out. Speaking of Eagles,
I love that thing, man.
Yeah, I love Eagles. The eagle as an actual bird is sick.
But you got
America is the greatest country on earth.
But the history of the NFL is in Kansas City. Here's why. Lamar Hunt invented the AFC, and he is the founder of the Chiefs. There's no Kansas City Chiefs or AFC without Lamar Hunt. Okay, I mean, now look, Bert Bell was the owner at one time of the Eagles, and he was former commissioner of the league. I don't know, man. I mean, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. The history, Eagles been around since 1933, I think. I think Kansas City's been around since 63. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm a New England guy, so I'm going to take Eagles. Okay, I'm going to take Eagles because I grew up on that. I hated the Philadelphia Eagles growing up because I was a Giant fan. My uncle played there.
I know you do. I can sense it in your commentary.
Okay? What do you mean in my commentary? The fuck are you talking about? My commentary. I grew up a Giant fan.
I knew Sills was going to get mad at that one. Oh, shit. You teed me up for that one, brother. You teed me up for that one.
Jalen Carter versus Creed Humphrey.
Yeah, get ready, Creed Humphrey. Welcome to the show, big guy. Welcome to the show. Jalen Carter's about to put him on skates. Welcome to the show, Creed.
He's the best player in his position.
You're a nice player and all, but you haven't gone up against Jalen Carter. He's going to take you with one hand and ragdoll you like he has the rest of the freaking league. Excuse me, Creed. I got somewhere to get to. Get the fuck out of here. That's what he's going to do.
How about Chris Jones versus Cam Jurgens with his fucking weak back?
Yeah, we might have the same problem. We might have that problem with Chris Jones on the other side, but no, I like Cam.
I heard he said he's ready to go for Sunday.
Yeah, he's gonna be ready to go. He'll be ready to go, so that'll be good.
Hey, did John give you any update on any of the injuries?
They're pretty good. They're pretty healthy. Everybody's good. Landon,
everyone's good.
Jurgens gonna be good. Jalen's good. AJ's good. Quinyon Mitchell's good. Everybody's good. I mean, from the guys who are out there, obviously, N'Kobe Dean's out, like guys like that are obviously out. But from the active guys, everybody is in pretty good health, is what I was told.
Who's your outlier guy for Super Bowl 59? Guy that you could just out of his have a Tim Smith game where he goes for 200 yards. Somebody like that. Is there anybody on both sides?
Okay, I'll give you one from each team.
Yeah, I think it's Worthy.
All right, you took mine from Kansas City. I was going to go Worthy just because I think he has that breakaway ability. All right, and then the next guy, I also could put Pacheco in there. I think Pacheco is kind of a gritty, hungry-ass player, and he's from the area, so I do like him as a player. But
was he a Jersey guy?
Yeah, yep, Jersey guy. I'm going to say for the Eagles, I guess it's not that much of a sleeper, but we've already said him on the show, Devontae Smith. Right? I mean, I think that's – you come into this game if you're the Chiefs and you look at Saquon Barkley and you say, I want to get rid of that guy. You look at A.J. Brown, you say, I got to get him out of the game plan. That leaves Devontae Smith going up against let's be honest, a little bit lesser corners. I mean, and I think that could give a chance for Smitty to eat. Now, not the problem, but the thing
a
about
tight end could win the MVP in this game.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know though. I like Goddard, but I don't think I feel like
Their linebackers can't cover, dude.
I feel like my problem with picking Goddard is I don't believe the Eagles make Goddard enough of a focal point on offense. You look at the Chiefs, their game plan is scripted basically to have Kelsey as the first or second option on every single passing play.
He's always looking for him.
You look at the Eagles, it's like you're lucky to have Goddard as the third option on any given play. So from that perspective, it's not my favorite thing in the world to pick Goddard. I do think you're right. He has a chance to have a big game in this one. But I'm going to go Devontae just because I feel like he's going to have a major mismatch. Now, it all comes down to Jalen, though. This is why I've been telling you that I believe Jalen Hurts is going to be the Super Bowl MVP of this game because I believe he has to be. And if you're telling me that Devontae Smith is going to have a bunch of yards, how? Jalen Hurts needs to have a good game. That's how. So I believe Jalen's going to have a big game, but sleeper for big yards like that, I'm going Smitty, and I'll go Pacheco. You're going to take Worthy. I'll go Pacheco.
Kellen Moore versus Steve Spagnuolo.
Steve Spagnuolo, not even close.
Okay, what does he have to do, in your opinion?
I think Kellen
be on the offense against Steve.
From Kellen's perspective, I honestly think it's pretty simple.
You
got to run the ball successfully on first down, and you got to keep it. You got to keep it third and short. That's it. I mean, if you get into third and 8 and longer, I'm not going to say it's over.
Oh,
man, are you going to make your game plan a lot harder? Okay.
Let me tell you something. If you run the football against Spagnuolo, I don't give a fuck how many exotic blitzes you have. And if you're third and short the entire ball game, you're going to run them off the scoreboard. Dude, there's no way of stopping that.
I'm with you, man. Run the ball.
If you see 3rd and 7 a bunch of times, Eagles are in trouble. Okay? That's not their game.
3rd and 7 is a little better.
How many times this year have you seen the Eagles 3rd and 7? Not many. Why? They run the shit out of the ball.
See, I'm gonna be a pain in the ass and go. I'm gonna say 3rd and 8. All right, because 3rd and 7, you can pick up 4 yards, and I think the Birds will go for it. 4th and 3. Depending on where you are, if you're past the 45-yard line, they're probably gonna go for it.
Don't give Patrick Mahomes a short field if you miss that. Okay,
yeah,
like Brady would tell you.
Yeah, you can't coach to lose this game.
What's the end result here? What's the end of the means here? Where are you in the game?
Do not coach to lose this game,
I'm
Nick.
not saying that. I'm saying you better. Remember, I said this to you too, Zander. There's going to be 5 coaching decisions in this game that are going to determine the outcome of the game. Because look how close a play here and there was in 57. Dude, it really doesn't matter who plays great. Who fucks up the most is the key. Somebody, look at Hurts. Hurts played great. One fuck up and hurt his game. Dude, it doesn't matter how many great yards you throw for, how many touchdowns you score. You make the critical mistake in the ball game.
Yeah, you're right.
It's over.
Wait, isn't that a famous Jimmy Johnson quote?
Totally. Jimmy never cared about high explosive plays. You know what he cared about? Bad plays.
Yeah, limiting bad plays. He said that on the Fox pregame show a couple of weeks ago, and I remember saying to myself, I want to mention that to Big Sills. Yeah, I remember Jimmy saying that on the pregame show this year. It was really good.
Yeah, he said it here. He goes, "I never."
Oh, right. He said it on the show. That's right. I remember.
He's always been, hey, high explosive plays are great, but the key is don't make the critical mistake that costs your team the game. Those are going to be more glaring than high profile plays. I mean it, and that's how Brady won 7 Super Bowls. Zander, he won 7 Super Bowls doing that. Zander's all smiles, man. He thinks he's got this fucking game in the bag.
I don't think it's in the bag. I just feel good about it. I think we match up well. I believe we're a better team than we were in 22. I think Jalen's more equipped to handle the moment. I think the defense is better. I think the coordinator's better. I think your offensive line is better, more physical. I think you have a much better running back. I think you have a better defensive tackle with Jalen Carter. I love Fletcher Cox, but Jalen Carter is a train wreck for teams.
Is that enough?
Well, they got the great equalizer in Patrick Mahomes. That's always the question. Do you want me to feel like a loser going into?
I'm asking you. Is that enough?
No.
Is that enough?
13.
Is that enough?
Yes.
Yeah, with so much.
It's enough, baby.
It's so much conviction. I hear it. You see? Did you hear his knee? I even heard his knees fucking wobbling. Yeah. Yeah. How do you go against a guy that's been to 5 of these now, and he's got 3 of them in the bag, and he's got 3 Super Bowl MVPs? How are you? And he's 27. How are you going against him?
Who? Go against who? Mahomes?
Mahomes. He's 29, I think.
Because he's got a squeaky voice.
He does. And he's got a dad's body.
No, I don't care about that. No, he's a good player. He's unbelievable. I mean,
He's like Gumby.
we thought it was going to be years before we saw another Brady, and he's basically if he wins this, he's going to be well ahead of Brady. So, yeah, pretty remarkable what he's done. But I don't know. I just think that we're a better team. I really do. I think as good as they have been, I think we're a better version than anybody they have faced. And
what I love the most about Media Day yesterday was the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, which I will be pointing out later on the Twitter at Dan Sileo Show, agrees with Big Sills when it comes to giving Nick Sirianni any kudos. Yeah, his emotions sometimes get the best of him. And where have we heard this? You know what? His greatest asset is his emotions, and his worst asset is his emotions and his passion. Gee, who told you that? Hey, Jeff, you want material? All you have to do is email Big Z, and he'll send you Big Sill shit over. How you doing? These people listen to the show. I feel like I have been.
I know Jeffrey Lurie listens to Birds 365 because John McMullen was talked to about something he mentioned on the show on Birds 365 that he told me about. So I know the people at the facility are listening to JAKIB Sports. We know that, and Lurie also dropped a risk-averse last night. And John McMullen uses that phrase like once a day on Birds 365. So I'm thinking he's listening. I'm thinking he's tuned in. Mr. Lurie, no dome. And we did not lose the Super Bowl because of the flag. Take that victim mentality and get it out of here.
What I loved was that this is him being right is that when I had Merrill on once, I go, Merrill, where are you? He goes, I'm in Sirianni's office. And I'm like, oh, okay. So Nick was on the other side of him listening to Merrill do an interview with us when we were doing that. This was about a year ago we did that. Remember that?
Yeah.
Office. He goes, yeah, I'm in Nick's office now. So let's read these super chats, Zander.
All right, let's do it. We got Keith Byars at 5:30. That should be good.
By the way, man, seriously, I mean, come on, man. Dome, not happening. Don't put the dome on that bitch.
Look at dorky ass. Wait. Look at dorky ass James Jones. So he came in here with another comment like this.
He's just pissed off because his commander.
Wait, I ripped him to shreds because our team beat him 55-23. And as far as I'm concerned, you can go back to the broom closet for the summer, kid. And then he starts DMing me. Oh my God, don't say this about me. And here he is again, calling me James. 55-23, big dog. You ain't even in the room. You ain't even in the arena, brother. T-Bone, what's up, T-Bone? This is my take. T-Bone, I didn't get to your email yet, brother. I'll get there, all right? In 22, 3 plays handed the Chiefs the win. Birds would have won by 21. Birds owned Chiefs and with not as good of a team. Jalen's fumble, 2 defensive flubs, and equal 2 Chiefs touchdowns. Not this time. Well done, T-Bone. I'm with you, bro.
Hey, T-Bone, I'm glad that you're part of the group called the Woulda Shoulda Donna guys. That's a famous club in Philly, the Woulda Shoulda guys. How you doing? Is there a jersey with that? Probably number 01.
I love T-Bone.
What's your name on the back? Consolation prize?
No.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Sills doesn't want us to be great.
I love you, bro.
Sills wants us to be miserable. Silio wants us to be miserable. Don't let him win.
I want you to be in the world of reality here.
Nah, get out of here. Here we go. Harv, what's up, Harv? Talk about Super Bowl XIII. What is that, 13?
That's when the Steelers. It's Steelers and Cowboys at the Orange Bowl.
What's X? Is X what?
30?
50
or 20? What
is it?
50?
35? Isn't this year XIV or no LI? This year no L is 50. I'm off.
That was the Super. That was a Harv. That's the Super Bowl in Miami, right?
I think
with
that's
the
13,
Cowboys
man.
and Steelers.
XIII.
And Jackie Smith dropped the touchdown pass in the end zone.
It's 13. I'm right. Look at that. I'm now a Roman numeral wizard. You see that? Talk about Super Bowl XIII 13 when Jackie Smith dropped a touchdown pass and cost Dallas
probably the greatest Super Bowl I've ever seen. Is that one there when I was a young kid?
Maybe I'll run that tape back.
Yeah, you should watch that game because there's Hall of Famers on. I would say this, right, Harv? There's probably, let me see. I would make Zander. There's probably 15 Hall of Famers on that game. In that game,
let me go check it out.
Greatest games of all time, man.
Super Bowl XIII.
Yeah,
I hate Roman numerals. Like, can we move on from Roman numerals, or are we still there?
I tried to make it a gladiator thing back in the day.
It's just like, come on, Brian Pumper. So the Chiefs three-peat is scheduled for Sunday. On to the draft, fellas. Sills, how's that Arroyo kid out of the U? Anybody out of the U should not be taking bad culture. They're not panning out as pros right now. Wait till they get back to dominance. The University of Alabama dynasty that existed under Nick Saban has surpassed the Miami dynasty from the 80s and the 90s. So thank you very much.
Hey, Brian.
University of Alabama.
Hey, Brian, let me know the next time an Alabama guy gets into the fucking Hall of Fame. Let me know. Hook me up on that one.
Oh, shit.
You know how many Miami guys have gone in the Hall of Fame in the last 15 years? 11. How you doing? That's right, kid. Who are you going to put in there? Hightower?
What's that?
Who are you going to put in the Hall of Fame? Hightower?
Twiz with a grave insult. He says Xander's deaf a liberal. Yeah, Twiz.
What's got to do with sports, dickhead?
I will tell you 100% that is a false accusation. Mad Dio says, my JAKIB postgame show take midpoint of season. Jalen plays the competition down to Panthers, up to Ravens, Steelers, commies last week. Mahomes in 22 and 23. Straight jacket comment confirms it.
Straight jacket, baby. Keep him in it. Keep him in the straight jacket. You have a chance of sailing home. You take him out of the straight jacket, you'll be in trouble.
Keep doing what you're doing, Jalen, to win football. Jalen, keep the main thing, brother. Well done, my friend. Well done, Jay Hurts.
He's
30 day.
He's a good-looking fellow.
There you go. 30 days says, I bet a 40-yard touchdown play gets called back for either holding or illegal lineman downfield on Philly.
Yes.
40-yard touchdown. 30 D's drinking some extra Eagle Kool-Aid juice this morning.
That bum juice,
not only is it a ref is going to have a bad call, but it's going to mitigate a 40-yard touchdown play. All right, we'll see, Dirty D. We'll see. I'll remember you if it happens. Master Chief. What's up, Master Chief? You know what it says? Do you know what Master Chief means?
It's like a Navy term.
No, okay. I just want to make sure I wasn't the only one that didn't know. Jalen Hurts is not elite, but he is clutch. He will make that run. He will make that run or that throw to win the Super Bowl. We beat the Patriots on the second try. Let's go, Chief. Don't let Sileo talk you out of that take.
Master Chief. Hey, just keep Jalen mailing out and handing out the mail. Over here, let everybody else. Troy Aikman was a mailman. We got a problem with Troy Aikman's 3 Super Bowls. He was a mailman. Okay? Why do you guys get your panties in a bind? Troy Aikman won 3 Super Bowls being a mailman. You all right with that? Zander, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm an Eagles fan. I'm not a Jalen Hurts fan. I like Jalen Hurts because he's good, but I'm an Eagles fan. I want to win Super Bowls.
Bob Greasy was a mailman. Right. Certain guys have roles. Jalen Hurts' role on that team was to deliver the mail, put it in the box, close the thing, and go away. And let the other guys be stars. That's exactly what he is.
Look at Paul Barbarian. Look, I knew some of your Miami-ites would come out. It's like a Jalenites, but they're Hurricane-ites. It's a cane stick. Always Big Sills. Big Z doesn't understand. 305. Yeah, Miami.
Go get him, Paul.
Palm trees and honey. Woo, Miami.
Overtown, Liberty City, baby. You got it.
Okay. All right. All right. Who else we got? Dio again. Jalen played that way last week. He played well.
Nice. Hey, finally showed up after 18 weeks. Way to go, kid. Only took you 18 weeks to get out of to take the straight jacket off.
Look at Prince is telling me you're making me stupid ourselves. Is that? Can you confirm or deny that
How
accusation?
could Prince know? He was in lockup and he was in solitary confinement. How the fuck did he know?
Yo, Prince, maybe it's you, big dog. Maybe you're the dumb one, Prince.
Hey.
Maybe it's not Sills or me.
Are you crazy? This guy was eating bologna sandwiches and drinking Kool-Aid in lockup.
Yo, Prince, you walked into that one, my friend. You walked into that one. Here we go.
Hey, Zander, he was the one guy in the big, like, buffalo hat hanging off the Capitol wall. Yeah, Zander's Prince. Next time I see him on CNN,
I will say
go look at Prince. That's my buddy Prince right there. He's got a buffalo hat on.
You know Prince won a jersey, right, this week. So shout out to Prince. But I will say this about Prince. It is a little weird, Prince.
Yeah.
You know, Donnie J gets back in office, and here comes Prince. All of a sudden, Prince is back in the chat.
Seriously,
weird,
you want to hear how serious this was? It made me laugh my ass. Here's Zander. Look, you got to look at the face. Zander goes, "Hey, Sills, man, see Prince is back." I'm thinking, you know, what are you thinking? He goes, "I don't know. I think this guy may have been put away for a little bit." Oh my God.
I love you, Prince. I appreciate you, brother. Here we go. We got a bunch of super chats today. Thanks, everybody. 41-33. It's bullshit, to be honest. Sills picks 31 teams. We get one. He's crying about your content.
Hey, wait. Well, that's been pared down to 2 now. You and one other one. The odds are now 50-50. You have a 50-50 shot of shutting me up. Super Bowl Sunday and the post game. And then on Monday, I told you what I'm going to do. If you freaks win this bitch, I'm going to be a man of my word. I'm going to put some of you guys on. Danner and I will we'll put that together. I'm not going to do 4 hours of it, I don't think.
Of what?
You think I should put these guys on to talk shit to me for 4 hours?
No. 4 hours? No way.
How about 1 hour?
They're going to have enough. You're doing that on the Tuesday show. I've already told these people. It's not the Monday show. It's the Tuesday show.
That's right. We want to – okay.
It's the Tuesday show, all right?
So
we got business to handle.
If you win, okay, you're going to be right or I'm going to be right.
All right, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Dio checks in again. Dio, thanks for the support, bro. The Chiefs ran the ball down our throat in the second half, and Gannon couldn't stop it.
They did? They ran the ball down you guys' throat? I thought they had like 120 some odd yards in that game. Maybe most of it did come in the second half.
Remember, they had the big Mahomes run on third down.
That's right.
That was a huge run. Pacheco did have a good bit of yards in that second half. The Chiefs really didn't start playing in that game till the second. I mean, not playing, but you know what I mean. Remember, one of the biggest talking points at halftime was the Chiefs have barely gotten the ball. Eagles have had the ball the whole game. And then that switched quick after halftime. Dio, again, can't get the image of puke hanging off of McNabb's face mask.
Hey, Mad D, you gagged that 22 Super Bowl too, guy. Look, you're up 10.
Not like that.
Hey, wait a minute. So you're up 10, and you had 25 more offensive plays than them. I don't know. I mean, holy shit. I didn't realize you guys gave that game back. You gave that game back to them.
Yeah, look at Zeal. 4 hours. I'm going to lay into him for 4 years.
Hey,
oh
Zeal,
my God, Zeal, funny. Yes. He deserves it, and he knows it. Look at the grin on his face. He knows it. If Jalen gets over the hump, you'll never win with that guy. You'll never win without a passing game. You'll never win. You'll never do it.
You're not winning because of him.
That's not what you said.
Okay.
You said you will never win with that guy.
Now that is a goalpost move. Now hold on here. Here's my pre-stats for Hurts. at February 4th, Jerome Brown's birthday. Ready?
Oh, let's get a load of these. We got more supers, by the way. We'll get there.
18 of 21 for 98 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 75 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns. Actually, I'll up that passing number to 104 yards and 75 yards rushing. Dude, he could have 3 TDs in the game. What the fuck are you talking? Dude, he averages 130 yards passing a game anyway. All I did was 104, 75 rushing, 2 TDs rushing, and 1 TD throwing.
Breaking
He's got 3
news.
TDs. That's 21 points. What are you moaning about?
Breaking news, everybody. The goalpost has now boarded a ship, okay? And it is leaving the country of Canada, and it will go where are we going to go?
Speaking of
Over to
LJ
Africa?
Trudeau.
Where do we want to go? Europe? Where are we moving to the goal? Where are we
I want to go to Panama to get the canal back.
I think that might already be back soon, isn't it? I heard something about that. Let's get to these super chats.
Yeah.
We got Keith Byars coming.
I told you this, man. Maple syrup, hockey, strip clubs, and beer. That's all Canada has.
Yeah, well, it's good. It's a good thing we got the goalpost out of there quick. Always Sunny says, Goodell is handing Mahomes this 3-peat to stick it to Brady. #rigged. What a loser mentality that is. Always Sunny. That's a loser mentality. I don't believe that for a second.
Let's see.
We're going to win this football game. That's what I believe.
Face of the league. Everyone hates Philly. You guys would be like, see, I don't think the Chiefs are the villain here. I think the Eagles are the villains.
Wait, look. What is the tariffs for the goal? Don't get political. We're gonna have a bunch of people crying about it. You know how people get. They can't handle one piece of.
I can't have it. I get hollered at later, so I can't have it.
Brian Pumper says fumble was life changing. That fumble caused a ripple effect in the space time continuum. There's an argument that fumble created Kensington Avenue. No, Kensington's been around for a long time.
This guy's like Trudeau here, man. Look at this, man. Oh, excuse me, Brian. I didn't mean Trudeau. I meant Thoreau, the author. How you doing? Holy shit, this guy's writing soliloquies here.
Brian Pumper, have you ever been to Philly? It sounds like you haven't, Brian. Come on, Pumper, with that comment.
You know, Pumper.
The Phillies ace 34. What's up, big dog? Stills, you can't be this naive. Chiefs are winning because Mahomes is the new poster boy. Also have Swift narrative. Nobody likes Philly, just saying. The Phillies ace. Don't be a bitch. What is that comment? Oh, they're going to give it to Mahomes. No, go out there, bully them, run the ball down their throat, get some stops on defense, be the #1 defense in the NFL, and win the football game. And we're the city of champions. With all this BS, we lost before we played the game. I hate that crap. It's like Sileo. You're Sileo-ized. We got to make the gummy, the edible. Sileo-ized.
The Sileo gummy. It's a little chubby.
I've already been joking about that. You take one gummy, and about 14 minutes later, you start saying, I don't think the Eagles are going to be good. And 32 minutes later, you start saying, Jalen Hurts sucks as a quarterback. And then 60 minutes later, you don't even want to be an Eagle fan anymore. I mean, come on.
That's called the residue effect of Big Sills. How you doing?
Holy shit, Ace. Losing the game before we even play it. Matt Diaz says, snow bunnies are ski sport slow potties. That is not what snow bunnies are. Do you not know what a snow bunny is?
I thought it was like a gummy bear kind of
It's
thing.
a white chick.
Oh, okay.
It's a white chick. That's it. Okay. That's all it is. Always Sunny. Tell Zander how shitty the last owner was. Yeah, I know how shitty he was. 41-33. Hurts outscored Pat in Super Bowl 57. Not a theory. We already got
L.
Yeah, that's a
L.
Shit. That's
shit take.
Look, we got a bunch of people in the chat that love snow bunnies.
L.
Snow bunnies equal fine white girl.
We're
off the rip. We gotta take this train and get it back on the Canadian train tracks.
Hey, pump. The reason I don't like snow bunnies, that ass ain't where it needs to be. I don't like iron. Hey, all I say to you, Pump, is I don't like ironing boards, man. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. All right, moving on. Moving on here. You guys are making it tough today, man. Here we go. Luke's dad. What's up, Luke? Appreciate him becoming a member today, man. He became a legend member. So shout out to Luke's dad. How you doing? 28-17 Birds. Jalen Carter will be the difference. Feed Saquon early. Let Jalen play where he's best in the red zone. Let's go, Luke's dad. Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
If Zach Bond wins the most valuable player award in the Super Bowl, that's $18 million.
I think that might be light.
If he wins that MVP award, do you really think they're going to pay $60 million for 3 years for him? The MVP could go in the open market of the Super Bowl 2 months later. If you're his agent, don't you go, look, I know you love the place, but you're telling me you don't think someone would offer you $20 million annually. You're the Super Bowl MVP. You're in line for the Defensive Player of the Year award, and you're the first team All-Pro, and you got more votes than Fred Warner and also Roquan Smith. And you're fucking going to go, I'll take 11. When you're leaving 9 per on the table, are you – come on, businessman.
You're right. You're right. I look, I don't disagree with you. Sills got a lower back. Sills has a lower back tattoo that says squat this.
I heard someone took a cigarette butt.
Wait, what do they call them?
What do they call them? I heard they put a tattoo on you. Said right.
What do
here.
They call them? Sills tramp stamps or something? What do they call them?
Tramp stamps.
At the lower back.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Hey, Prince, somebody put their cigarette butt on your ear, and then they got that and they put on there right here, right on your arm.
All right, here we go. Brian Pumper. Mahomes is LeBron. Hurts is DeMar DeFrozen. I'll bet on 15 all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. Kermit for the win. You got to be kidding me, Pumper.
Holy shit, he's Ben Simmons. Hurts is Ben Simmons, and the other guy's LeBron. Oh, my God. Yeah, if you had to compare basketball, okay, Patrick Mahomes is Jordan. Jalen Hurts is who's that white guy that played in Cleveland?
Who?
No, the guy in Utah. He's John Stockton.
Oh, older guy. John Stockton.
Hey,
he was great.
Hurts is John Stockton.
It's a shame. Isn't it truly a shame what's happened with the NBA? It used to be such an amazing league.
It is.
It really did. It was my favorite league growing up. I loved the history of the game. I loved watching documentaries. I loved getting into the game. You watch it today, man, it's like a different sport. It really is.
Look at what LeBron hasn't done for the NBA. He's made load management fashionable. He's brought no viewers, all-time ratings lows. He drafted his untalented son, or had the NBA draft his untalented son.
Yeah, I don't agree with everything you're saying.
Then he turns around and he makes the NBA trade Luka Doncic to the fucking Lakers. Wow. I mean, you're telling me Boston wouldn't have offered up because they've got all those max deals up there, that you couldn't have offered a better deal than Boston and got more talent in Dallas? I mean, then look at the Lakers.
Look, I understand that not everybody's going to be a LeBron fan and all, and I understand he's kind of a controversial guy, but I don't really agree that he's the main reason for what's happened in this league. You go back to LeBron's early career, he didn't miss games. He didn't miss anything.
What I'm saying is he hasn't, but the visibility of the sport, when Jordan was there, it was must-see television. They had all-time ratings.
Oh,
he's the face of the league. He hasn't brought in viewers.
It was must-see television 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I think. I really do. I'll never forget watching, LeBron when he went back to Cleveland and won that, and that was even an amazing feat. And when he went to Miami, those were amazing times. And
that was a great finals against Golden State when they
you could actually argue that it got a lot worse after Kevin Durant went back to the Warriors. I'm not saying he's the main culprit. I'm saying that was the turning point when I feel like a lot of I'm not even gonna lie to you, I didn't even watch the NBA Finals last year. That is crazy that I didn't watch the NBA Finals.
I'll make a point to you about LeBron, just so everyone knows. I think LeBron James is arguably one of the top 5 players that has ever played in the sport. I don't know how you don't put Kareem in there. I mean, Kareem, Michael, LeBron, You could throw, if you want, Shaq in there. Magic Johnson's in there. But LeBron is in that conversation of one of the greatest players. He's the only guy, Zander, that I think you could play at all 5 spots, and he'd be an all-star. You know, I mean, he'd be an all-star at all 5 spots.
Yeah.
And you could build a team around him. But,
I know. He's pretty remarkable talent. I don't know what.
But look what the NFL did to the NBA. They moved them off of Christmas Day. I mean, they don't even have Christmas Day games anymore.
And LeBron had to admit that. Did you hear him admit that on Kelsey's podcast? Because LeBron was like, "It's our day," and then he was like, "Yeah, from a viewership standpoint, it's not." Yeah, it's not. Not at all.
People
all right, we got a bunch more supers when we were doing the supers because man, that was a good set of super chats today, man. I've been laughing for 2 hours. I've been laughing for 2 hours and 45 minutes since the show started.
Hey, thank you guys.
Love you, Sills. This time, birds don't turn over ball, run ball down the throat, an effective pass when unexpected. WC shoulda will be left in the dust this time. What's he saying?
If they run the ball, they don't turn it over, and they stick to their guns, and they play defense like they have, it's going to be a tough day for KC. KC's going to have to do special things. Personally, when I look at Patrick Mahomes' Super Bowls, he's made critical game moves and decisions in games that have won him those games, but he hasn't put 4 quarters of football together in any one of those Super Bowls. I mean, Zander, you go back and watch him. You know, if I'm going to be fair about Jalen's play, in that game, Mahomes has played in stretches. He has not played. I don't know how many games has he thrown for over 200 yards in one? I mean, he just hasn't really put up enormous numbers in those games, but he makes plays when it matters.
It's what we talked about earlier, though, with Jimmy. He didn't make a negative play, right? And ultimately, that came back to give him what he needed. And I think Jalen's kind of adopted that mindset. I'd like to see Jalen take a couple more shots, but I think he has for the most part. Harv checks in again. I'm a football junkie. I study the game and really try to know the history. I can tell, Harv. I appreciate your comments. Good stuff. Paul Barbarian. It's a Canes thing. Always big sales. Big Z doesn't understand. 305, baby. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go get him, Paul. Go get him. There you go.
Absolutely. DC Trucker. My guy, DC. What's up, brother?
Love this guy.
As long as Sills picks KC to win, we are all good. We'll
I'll let you know Friday what I'm going to do.
DC, you've been listening.
DC, if you were in a fist fight, would you want a guy who was going to sit out about 5 feet, jab you? Or would you fear the guy who's going to get up on you in a phone booth and beat the fuck out of you? I think you get an idea where I would hang. I wouldn't want to get hit by the guy who could beat my ass in a phone booth.
Well, I'm telling you, for anybody that's listened to your show for 4.5 years since it's been on JAKIB, use your common sense on Sileo's philosophies, and you'll know which way he's going here. Mad D.O. Jalen wasn't in a straitjacket for the NFC Championship game and will not be in a straitjacket for the Super Bowl. Master Chief is a military rank designation. Yeah, I was talking about Master Chief. I guess it's some Halo thing or something.
Mad D, if they take him out of the straitjacket and do something they haven't done all year long as a consistent basis, now maybe again, to what Zander said, one game, one moment. We're not talking about in season. Who knows? Because to me, if they throw the ball for over 30 times in that game, they'll lose. You'll lose. If you throw that ball 20 to 24 times in that game, that's on your formula. If you start doing things that you don't do, and you're not going to, why in the world would you not want to run the ball in Kansas City where they struggle stopping the run? They're better in the secondary too. Why would you want to do that? Why? Because you want to make a point? You don't want to make a point in the Super Bowl, dude. You want to win the game. That's all you want to do. You want to win the game. You're not trying to make a point in the Super Bowl. You can make a point next year, okay, during the season. Try to make your point where you want to have a passing offense. Isn't it funny? The Philadelphia Eagles under Jalen Hurts this entire reign won a passing game, and they can't get one. Now that they decide to run the ball, they're in the Super Bowl again.
We'll see. Lord Grace
paying for a passing game that they don't have.
Check out my guy here. He just sent me this picture on social media. All right, first, actually, I'll show you this picture first. I love the great people, Sills, of JAKIB Nation, the people that keep us on the air. Look, this guy's wearing our Stout U sweatshirt in the Rocky Mountains out in Colorado. That's pretty sick, right? But look at my guy here. SB Ricky just sent me this on Twitter. He got his Jalen Carter jersey. Check that jersey out, baby. Jalen Carter is becoming the most coveted jersey, Sills, of any.
Look at that guy there, man. He looks like a Q-tip wearing that thing, man.
Dude, SB Ricky, don't let him shit on you. SB Ricky's like a fly thinking that.
That looks good on you, kid.
Hell
I like
yeah.
it.
My guy, I appreciate you, brother.
That looks good on you, man. Good.
All right, Mad Dio, Australia for goal. What's that mean?
I don't know. Who knows? Australia, Canada, what the hell do I care?
T-Bone! Sills, I feel you, dog. When Hurts throws sparingly, doubt ensues. If Hurts plays as last week, then we have to rethink it. Agree? I feel as 10 to 14-point Birds win. Wow, T-Bone's feeling good.
I don't think that. 10 to 14-point win over a team that was 17-1. Come on. Hey, Mahomes ain't the same guy. Really? He lost one fucking game this year. How's he not the same guy? Yeah. He's going for 3 in a row. Hey, Sills, this guy's kind of not the same player he was 4 years ago. And I'm like, your guy's not the same player he was 10 weeks ago.
Here we go. Dirty D checks in. What's crazy is the Chiefs have played 5 seasons worth of games in 4 seasons playing in February every year. It has to wear some players out.
That's correct.
Not when you're built different.
You know what, though, D? That is always a factor when you go that deep, because think about this in the last 5 years, right? You've played an extra 15 ball games compared to other teams, and your postseason starts a lot later. Look at the Cowboys. Their postseason started 1st of January. The Chiefs don't get off until the middle of February. It's an entire more games, more practices. Again, I agree. I think that takes its toll when you play deep like that, man.
Yeah. Good stuff there, Dirty D. I appreciate you, brother. I don't think it should matter, though. I really don't. If you're a championship-minded player, I don't care. Give me a couple extra games.
It doesn't matter.
I know, you're right. Dio says, Birds win by 13 and lead by 20 in the second half.
Oh, shit. Almighty good night.
I'm not going to go that far.
Hey, fucking, this guy's going against a generational coaching player, and he's like, we're going to beat him by 25 points. What do you think? What is this, Alabama, Vanderbilt? Oh, wait, they lost. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Here we go. Harv checks in. I'll repeat what I said earlier this week. Hurts is not an elite quarterback. He does have elite moments.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. That's yeah. Jalen Hurts is going to do what Lamar Jackson does. You know what that is? He's not going to string 4 games together where you're going to carry my team. He's not. He's just not. And the Eagles have a better roster than Baltimore. Lamar would do the same shit, if not more, in Philly. Got better talent in Philly. It's a team game. Their defense is better in Philly. And you have an easier road to the Super Bowl in the NFC. Do you not agree with that?
No, I agree with that 100%. There's no doubt about that, bro.
No, I will agree that the rosters seem to be deeper in the NFC than they do in the AFC because the quarterbacks you have to pay. So there's a balance there, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. Prince Swayze, what's up, Prince? Sills, who did you pick to be in the Super Bowl again? I forgot.
I picked Detroit and Cincinnati to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Detroit was a good pick. They were a really good team this year.
They came out at the end and finished 9-7. That 1-4 start killed them.
Totally killed them. You're right. Matt Dio didn't say not the run ball. We ran it at commies. I get what you're saying, Dio. Paul Barbarian, again, our resident Miami guy. If the Eagles have a balanced though and play disciplined D, they'll win this game. Like I said in a previous chat, this team is like the 2013 Seahawks. That's interesting. Interesting comp there.
Now, so the year before that, I said Bills. I picked the Bengals and I picked the Lions to beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl. This time here, that was fun, man.
Yeah,
That was a lot.
I've been laughing so much today, man. I'm gonna need a breather after this show. I'm laughing.
Well, you know what? You know what, dude? Super Bowl week. Everybody should be having fun.
I'm having a great fun. I'm really
You
pumped.
see hey, what'd you make of the media night when they were asking all those fucked up questions? I like that stuff because
it's funny.
It's not standard, blue blood.
I actually enjoyed your take on it. Yeah.
What?
I actually enjoyed your take on it because I kind of came in like a little bit of a curmudgeon on it, listening to John. And I kind of agree. I mean, look, the one thing I don't like about it is that they make these players fly down there, and it's like, dude, they get asked some dumb shit. But I get it, and you're right. It's the most watched show on planet Earth all year long, every single year. So this is what it's become. It's not going back.
Be inclusive.
Yeah, and look, and here's the other thing. All right. You can't speak out of both sides of your mouth because we just criticized the NBA, right? Yeah. The NBA is falling off. The NBA is doing it. Oh, every sports league, not just the NBA, the NHL, the NBA, the MLB, everything. Nobody is demanding viewership like the NFL is. So when you look at what the NFL is doing, you might question it. You might say it's goofy, but guess what? It's the only league left that is continuing to grow year after year in viewership. And they're going to be probably 80 of the top 100 TV shows once again. And you can't knock it too much. So I do understand it from that perspective, but it is a little goofy. I mean, come on.
You want to hear one of the stupidest questions ever asked to Doug Williams? Have you? Because I know
you're learning
about the history of the game.
Yeah, I don't know what you're
saying. So a guy sat in the pit and goes, "Hey, Doug, how long have you been a black quarterback?"
Oh, what did he respond to that?
No. People went like this though. But see, wait a minute. You're looking at it as the guy was a serious NFL reporter. He was some dude from TMZ who didn't know sports, and he was trying to race the thing up. And Doug goes, "Well, I don't know. I'll get back to you on that one." So everyone laughed. That's what I'm talking about. You know why a guy like John and the people like Jeff McClain, you know why they won't like Media Day? Because those guys are blue blood reporters.
Yeah, which is good. There's space for them too.
But that's not who the NFL's trying to appeal to. The NFL's trying to appeal to 1834 also.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's what it's all about. I mean, you can tell by the way the questions are asked and stuff, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Here we go. I think we got another super chat. Boy, the people are showing out today. I love it. Appreciate it.
Dude, thank you guys so much, man.
Yeah, good day today here. Dirty Day. The media don't know what they're talking about. Canada has great beer, great hockey, and amazing titty bars. Isn't that what you said?
I did.
Isn't that what you said? T-Bone checked in. Dirty D, thanks, brother. T-Bone.
Wait. Dirty D. Chez Paris. I'll give you some gift cards.
There you go. There's some inside insight there on
Chez Paris.
Some of the bars down in or up in, I guess you should say.
What I heard.
Canada. T-Bone. Hey, Sills. How about if Birds win by 11, you climb out of the Bat Cave and fly to NFL where I will play host and treat you and your wife to a high-dollar dinner? Your choice. Oh, to North Florida, he's saying.
T-Bone, if I get elected to the Florida Hall of Fame, I'm nominated this year for
you deserve to be in. What do we have to do to get you in?
You go on the website and there's a endorsement page that everyone. By the way, John Morgan's coming on tomorrow. A billionaire's coming on tomorrow at 5:30. So he's going to talk to sports. And by the way, you know how much money he pumps into Florida with the nil? You ready? $2 million.
Let me guess. 200 million? No, 2 million.
No, 2 million.
Yeah, 2 million.
He puts 2 million into
Florida. I was
going
to say 10 million.
You know what he does? I think he puts another million into Georgia. I know he's put 500 grand into Alabama. He spends $400 million a year in advertising. I mean,
we need to hold a bigger.
You know where he is? You know where he is right now? I had to do the here's me, Zander. Check it out. So you're in Maui? He goes, yeah, I'm at the house in Maui. So they're like hours behind me, and I got to figure out the fucking timing. So that ought to be a train wreck tomorrow. Figuring out the time and the time zone and shit for that thing.
What time zone is Hawaii in? I have no idea.
Middle Pacific. I
think it's Hawaiian time, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I think they have their own time zone. I think it's like Hawaii standard. Let me look.
I think from the West Coast, it's 2 hours behind.
Right now, it's Tuesday, 11:57 a.m. So it's what, 5 hours behind us? Oh, that's not bad.
No.
5 hours behind. It sounds like it's 5 hours behind us.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we got Keith Byars coming up.
All right.
At 5:30, one of the legendary Philadelphia Eagles. He'll join us too. By the way, Jerome Brown's birthday, he's one of Jerome's best friends. And we'll talk to him a little about that. And remember what he said last year.
Wait a second.
What was the biggest thing he said last year? Remember? He said the Philadelphia Eagles hadn't played playoff football from Thanksgiving on. I wonder what he says this time.
That's true. That's true. Let me check something real quick before I get off here. The Sileo Jerome Brown jersey is expected to be delivered Wednesday, February 5th.
I love it. I'll wear it.
Some Eagle merch for the greatness of Big Sills.
So I just got something here.
Uh-oh.
No way Nick Sirianni has a good relationship with his players. He's way too childish and immature.
Bullshit. I'm not reading in any more of this bullshit. I'm sorry.
Hold on here.
Take that and stuff it.
I'm gonna
shitty source.
Hold on here. Let me see here. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna post this on my Twitter page here.
Send it to me.
Okay. Here it is right here. Let me see here. I will.
I watch players grab Nick and cry in his arms.
Philadelphia Eagles Central. Do you know who that is?
Sounds like a fake.
Best source for Eagles content.
They got YouTube, that's for sure.
Okay, they just posted this. It said that Nick Sirianni's relationship. I don't buy that either, man. I don't buy that. I just don't. I think
it's proven. I'm going off of what he does and what I see with my own two eyes.
He's a goofball coach, but I mean, I think his players like him.
Yeah, but aren't we a goofball world?
Yeah, I think Kellen Moore is more of a goofball. I mean, if I had to pick a guy to run my library or my offense, I'd pick Kellen Moore to run my library. Yes, everything's really going to be great and all, and I got to tell you.
If you had to pick a head coach, would you pick Nick Sirianni or Kellen Moore?
Nick Sirianni.
Me too, 100%. 100%.
Or, if we take the protractor and put it over here with the scalpel and we put it here, I think we can get an equal of 4. What the fuck are you talking about? Philly, bitch.
Paul Barbarian. Yeah, Paul Barbarian says, Sills, happy B-Day in heaven to JB99. What a birthday gift we gave him 7 years ago. They brought it home for Jerome. Let's hope we bring home another one for him here, Paul. Let's hope we bring home another one for JB.
You know what I get always on when the Eagles are in the Super Bowl? You know what I'm getting lately? People go over to his grave, and they'll take pictures and send it to me.
Right. Where's he
buried?
And they'll
go like this. He's buried in Brooksville.
Oh, Brooksville. Okay, yeah. His Florida.
His hometown. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yep. No, hey, Charlie, Keith Jackson and Keith Byars and Jerome had a place in Philly right next to the flats. That makes sense to you guys, if you know what I'm talking about?
You know what I was thinking about the other day? You know what I was thinking about the other day? That would never happen, but it was an interesting thought to have with having you on JAKIB for 5 years now and knowing like what kind of friendship you had with Jerome and obviously played next. It's a different friendship when you play next to somebody. I think, it's different. And I was just thinking about, man, what if Jerome was still around today?
Charles Barkley.
And he would probably come on the Big Sill show.
Hammer me.
Crush you. He would crush you. That would be. I was thinking about that. I'm like, man,
hammer me.
Sad story that he went, but
me and him used to get back. Oh my God, it was so much fun. The coolest thing about being on Jimmy's teams and being on Coach Johnson's teams, everybody got to be themselves, and everyone played on Saturdays or Sundays together. But what they allowed us to do was everyone could be themselves, and everyone had a voice. Jerome was my locker mate. We used to sit next to one another, and we had another guy there. His name was Derwin Jones, and here's the story. I mean, we're sitting there, man, and this is the kind of friendship we had in the locker room, and this is why I get in trouble sometimes because I take the locker room talk out, but I could say it here. So Jerome's sitting there, and he does this, man. It was as black as like midnight. His name was Derwin Jones, and we loved him. We called him Big Cat, 6'6", 340 pounds. And this guy wore terry cloth shorts. Jerome looked over at the guy and he goes, "Damn, man, you're so damn black. I'm going to start calling you Gray." And everyone in the place would just start laughing. Black, white. It was such a great place. Anybody could say anything. Man, you believe in that bullshit? And everyone would just start talking politics, religion, and everyone was always arguing. But at the end of the day, every one of those guys, I love those guys to this day. And I think that's what you see with this Eagle team here. I think the difference between this team and a year ago, I think these guys actually love one another. And I think if you have a great football team, it's got to start with love. And it's got to start with respect. And I think those guys really do respect one another. And I think they respect the journey that they've been on the last 3 years.
And isn't that a bit of a credit to Nick too? Yeah. Yeah, it is. I agree. I think it is. HK checks in. Hey, Sills, did you play with The Rock? You didn't play with him, right? But you had him on the show.
Rock was after me about 2-3 years after me. And I didn't even know he knew who I was, HK. But if you go over to my Twitter page, he's on NFL on Fox going, the greatest D lineman of all time, Jerome Brown, Dan Sileo. My wife and I are sitting there watching this going, did he say
I remember when that happened this year. I remember.
I was like, did he say me? And she's like, yeah.
He dropped you.
Yeah, he dropped me right there, man, in front of all those folks there. And my phone blew up. And then, of course, we've had him on. Hey, I'm working on getting him again because the UFL is starting up again. So he wants to come on. So we'll probably have him on during the UFL season.
Great. That would be great. We
text back and forth all the time.
We did have The Rock on. Sileo's had everybody on it. You go back to the 5 years of this show, man. We've had some pretty unbelievable names.
Walker, fucking incredible. The people, Tony Dungy comes on all the time. Bruce Arians, head coaches, general managers. It's been really, if you put a who's who, little old JAKIB, who they try to run out of town, can't do it. How you doing? We're like a foot fungus, bitch.
We ain't going anywhere, baby. We ain't going nowhere, baby.
Hey, Zander, what a fun time, man. Good stuff here, brother.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. And tomorrow, I will give you another beatdown as to why the Philadelphia Eagles will win the Super Bowl. And then to update everybody, all right, for my great viewers on Birds 365, I will be live at 8 a.m. because I will never let JAKIB Nation down. But John McMullen has a flight, okay? So we will be doing a show probably tomorrow night at some point. Extra content, John live from New Orleans. I'm going to talk to Brandon Lee Goutwin in the 9 o'clock hour, and I'll do a show with you kind of solo in the morning from 8 to 10 a.m., all right? So we will not have John in the morning. He is traveling down to New Orleans, and then we will I'll do a show. We'll have a special show tomorrow on Birds 365 in the evening as well. So thank you all. But that's the update for the morning. I just wanted to let everybody know that.
Make sure when you talk to McMullen, he's down there getting drinks and shit. Make sure everything's above board, man. Because you never know. Chicks with cannolis live big time down there. How you doing?
How many what do they call? What do they call those stupid things in New Orleans? The beads or something?
The beads.
Yeah. How many of those is he coming home with?
I don't know, man. Just don't let somebody with a cannoli put any beads on you. It's all good. How you doing?
Hey, that's not my scene. I don't go.
My scene. I mean, I lock myself in my hotel room and I stay in there because I don't want anybody touching.
I can't. This guy tells everybody, I'm the most watched show in the city of brotherly love. The team goes to the Super Bowl. Sills, you want to go to the Super Bowl? Are you kidding me? I'm not going to the Super Bowl. What are you talking about? You're not going to the Super Bowl.
Listen, before I let you guys out of here. So Joe. Wait a minute. So Joe Krauss goes like this. He was kind of hitting. He wanted me to, if we do put it together, put pen, paper,
we were trying.
Here's me. Look, I'll get back to you. He already knew when I said that. He went, fuck that. I ain't doing it. All right, brother. Them guys knew that. Hey, brother, love you, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And by the way, Zander will have it down. He does it every single day. I check it out. Yeah, that was a little interesting conversation you were having today with Jalen being called good looking and shit. I was making sure which channel I tuned on. I didn't know where the hell I were. I thought I was watching the Bravo channel.
Are you one of those people too who has a tizzy over someone calling the guy handsome?
No.
I don't give a shit. What the hell
I just said I tuned in and they were talking about loving another.
Well, yeah, the chat. You can't say anything to these guys. They go nuts. No, you got Diddler Abe, you got Flexion and Diddy. You got Prince Diddy. You got all these Diddies in the chat. Well, you can't say shit around these guys.
I came up with a good actor's name for me.
What's that?
Right, you know, my name is my wife. This is what my wife is going to tell people because I'm going to go to a rugby game. I may have to kick someone's ass on Saturday. So my name's going to be Crypto Spiridium. That's my name, Crypto. And my wife goes, yeah, he's up there with the Raider jacket on and flip-flops, and he's got the walking cane. And his name is Crypto. That's my husband, Crypto. That's my hood name.
I gotta go.
Crypto.
Can I get the hell out of here?
Go ahead. Goodbye.
Right, see ya. Love you all. See you, everybody.
You got it. All right, man. Yeah, that's my new gangster name. It's Crypto. Just call me Crypto. How you doing? Yeah. Hey, folks, don't worry, man. Should be a great week, and we appreciate everybody here. Thank you guys so much. Hey, I want to tell you about my great friends at Morgan & Morgan. Been friends with John and his family, his wife Ultima, for over 20 years. They built this firm up to serve and to protect every family that calls them. This is what they have done. Morgan & Morgan is America's #1 injury law firm, and they do marvelous things and crazy things for you and your family. They've recovered over $20 billion for their clients. Morgan & Morgan, that's their track record. That's what they're built on, is getting recovery money for you. Couple in Pennsylvania was awarded $650K. No way. Morgan & Morgan came down and got them $26 million. Another family in Florida, insurance company was only wanting to pay out $350K. No way. John Morgan's team of thousands of attorneys at Morgan & Morgan went in there and got that family $12 million. Life is hard. We all know this. Easiest decision you'll ever make. If you're ever injured, you call Morgan & Morgan. The fee is free. Got to win. Okay? It's free. Okay? Unless you both win here. So for more information, go to forthepeople.com/bigsills or #529. That's FOR, thepeople.com/bigsills or #529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sill sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save at Southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer 3 major services, the first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore, have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Big Sills National Football Show. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. We're going to get Keith Byars on, one of the great Philadelphia Eagle players of all time. If Keith Byars played in today's NFL, he'd be Alvin Kamara. He's like Kamara, 800 yards rushing. Here, this, by the way, this is way before they were doing that dual threat back where they were catching the football out of the backfield. You know, I would say Marcus Allen was a little bit of that, but here's Keith Byars, man. Keith was a great football player. I mean, I loved his stats, man. And I loved him as a player when he was at Ohio State. Here's what he did in his career when he was in Philly. Just a great football player. I mean, one of the absolutely best careers when it came to catching the football. I mean, Kamara was that kind of guy. So here's Keith. How many people in here don't know who Keith Byars is? So here's Keith here and what he brought to the table. 577 yards rushing. They didn't keep receiving yards. Interesting. Oh, here it is. So here's when he started really becoming a factor. This was in his 3rd year. He had 600 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns. And he had 700 yards receiving on 72 catches. And he had 4 TDs. The next year, he follows it up with 500 yards rushing, 721 yards receiving. Following year, he was used more in a role of catching, had 81 catches. I mean, that's pretty impressive. His time in Philly, he had 371 catches and 3,500 yards receiving. I mean, if you look at his numbers, 3,000 yards rushing and 5,000 yards receiving, there's very few players in that era that ever were around that. Yeah. Byars played with Chris Carter at Ohio State. I think for Earl Bruce. I think Spielman was on those teams too with Keith Byars. Keith played, Keith Jackson, Keith Byars, and Randall. They just never really had an offensive line. Okay, they just really didn't put the O-line together because the owner didn't want to spend the money to bring and build up offensive linemen. Byars was number 41. Yeah, then, of course, after Buddy left, they all wanted to get the hell out of town. Keith will tell you he never wanted to leave Philly. None of those guys did. You know, everyone off those teams that Buddy had will tell you. And we'll ask them. They never wanted to leave you guys. They enjoyed playing in Philadelphia so much. And Keith, I know, ended up playing in Miami for a little bit, but Clyde Simmons, all those guys, man, they never wanted to leave Philadelphia. If it wasn't for the owner, they would never have left. Reggie really didn't want to leave. You know what the owner said? The owner thought he was an anti-Semite, and the owner thought his best days were behind him. And Reggie goes up to Green Bay and ends up winning a Super Bowl there. Hey, Ron Salt was a teammate of mine when I was at Maryland. So he was a teammate of mine. Love Ron Salt. Great player at Maryland. I first played against Ron when he was with the Colts, and they had Ray Donaldson at center. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. We're a little light on the likes today. Appreciate you guys. Super Bowl 57. Again, how much did you learn from that for Super Bowl 59 on Sunday? We'll talk a little bit more there. Couple things here. Would you guys be interested in Cooper Kupp this offseason? I personally think Jan Dotson should be benched. He's been a colossal disaster. How much would Cooper Kupp bring? Cooper Kupp's not going to make the money in the open market. They're looking to trade him. Probably not needed in Philly. But he would. Can you imagine Cooper Kupp and AJ and Devontae? I mean, if you don't have a 5,000-yard passing offense with those three guys, I mean, what do the Rams want? You're not going to get a first or second round draft choice for the guy. Get this. So here, don't ever get. Hey, the same people will told you, like, see this guy here, that Cooper Kupp is finished, or the same people that told you Derrick Henry was finished. Derrick Henry had 1,900 yards this year. Yeah, Chris is the number 3. Another Super Bowl? You got to look at where he is in his career now. Cooper Kupp's on the backside here because of all the injuries. I mean, see where he is and how old he is. I'd be interested in this. I'd be interested in Cooper Kupp. So he's 31. This last year, he had 67 catches for 710. I don't know. I'd be interested in something like that. I'd be good with that. We're going to effort our friend Keith Byars at the bottom of the hour. Hey, Dan, did you know Andre Waters? I did. I knew him very well. He's 31, Kyle. That's what it says on his book, that he's 31 years old right now. So I'd be interested for number 3. I like him. I'll take Cooper Kupp. Price has got to be right, obviously. You put him in that 3 hole, I'm all over that. I'm all over that. All right, here are the odds for Super Bowl MVP. Number 10, tied at 10. Chris Jones and Jalen Carter at plus 6,600. At number 8 and 7, Devontae Smith and Kareem Hunt. At number 6, A.J. Brown at 3,500. Five is Xavier Worthy. 4 is Jason Kelsey at plus 1,500. Number 3 is Jalen Hurts at plus 375. And number 2 is Barkley at plus 240 and Mahomes at 105. If I had to pick a guy, my top 3 guys for the MVP, I would pick Mahomes, Barkley, Barkley, Bond, and Chris Jones. Those would be my 5 guys. Okay? As the 3. Yes, Chris. As the 3. Absolutely. Yes. Carter could be in that conversation too. Yes, he could. Could be. He could be in that conversation. I brought this up with Zander a little bit. By the way, keep Byars, bottom of the hour here. We'll get our friend here. Looking forward to getting him on. Get his thoughts on Super Bowl 59. The key matchups I'm going to go over with you. Jalen Hurts in handling blitzes by Steve Spagnuolo. Here's what you're going to face here with this. Spags is going to blitz. And in my opinion, it's not going to be perimeter blitzing. It's going to be games in the middle. That's where Hurts struggles the most. Internal pressure blitzing. He's struggled to the tune of 45 of them. First 2 games, 12 sacks. He takes a ton of sacks. I would tell him, throw the ball away, man. Get the ball out of your hands. Don't take minus plays in a game against Patrick Mahomes. You cannot take sacks. He takes too many. You know, we had Marcus Hayes on, and I told Marcus Hayes, I think they're turnover plays. He goes, no. Dude, how many times did you watch Jalen Hurts take you out of field position? You can't give Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, you can't give Patrick Mahomes. You can't give him a short field. You can't. Number 2. I've said it all week, and I'll continue to say it until Super Bowl Sunday. How in the world are the Kansas City Chiefs going to handle the Eagles' offensive line? You know, I went back and I started thinking about O-lines in NFL history. And, you know, obviously the Cowboy line comes up. And you're thinking about the Hogs that had a great offensive line. The Steelers had a great O-line. Man, if they put another Super Bowl, and you get 3 Super Bowls in 8 years, and the majority of the guys have, like Lane and that, have been there, man, it's just a great offensive line and a great culture. I've got to see Kansas City stop them. I really do. I've got to see Kansas City stop them. Kansas City's linebackers have absolutely struggled covering tight ends this year. Is this a game for Dallas Goedert? Zander brought a great point up in it. You know, I mean, will the Eagles target Goedert in this game? To me, in my opinion, I think Goedert is more of a focal point than Devontae Smith. If I was going to sacrifice a guy this game on Sunday, it'd be Smith. And I would get Goedert. Goedert would be my number 2 guy. And Smitty would be my number 3 guy. Maybe line AJ up in the slot a little bit too. See how that works. Move them around a bit. Make Kansas City have to be on their toes. But that linebacking core, I think Kansas City struggled all year covering tight ends. Eagles are going to have to contain Chris Jones. Chris Jones versus Becton and Cam Jurgens. Chris Jones all night. Now, Cam Jurgens and Becton, double teaming, 370 pounds and 310 pounds versus Chris Jones. That's a war to keep an eye on. Okay? Chris Jones can win that. He is the best defensive tackle in the game. He made the critical play in the Super Bowl last year to put that game into the 5th quarter. Look at Flexen. Bro, he's the first team All-Pro defensive tackle. He's the best tackle in football. He's better than your guy. Okay? He's better. AJ versus McDuffie. This is going to be a match. And if I had to pick, McDuffie's the best cover corner next to Patrick Surtain, who's in Denver. And if I had to pick, I think A.J. Brown versus McDuffie. I'll take A.J. in this. Jump balls. I think he's more physical. Who has McDuffie played against this year that has the physicality of A.J. Brown? Who has he played against where you went like this? Hey, man, I mean, A.J.'s just so physical. It's a troll, Sills. Good Lord. Sorry, dude. I don't have my troll decoder book out flexing. Flexing thinks I got some sort of decoder troll book or some shit. Sills, it's a troll. Okay, there. Hey, let me keep notes on that. Hey, I got my notepad out, and I'll start putting a book together for you. How you doing? Number 6. Zach Bond and Patrick Mahomes. Gotta spy him. Zach Bond is going to have a long day. And I don't mean a non-productive day. But I think he's got to handle Mahomes, and I think he's got to handle Kelsey. Dude, that's why my pick, if you have an Eagle MVP, I think it could be Zach Bond. He's going to have to defend Mahomes and Hurts and Jason Kelsey. He is an important guy in this. By the way, one more time, Zach Bond and Mekhi Becton are playing for big money in this game. Those guys deliver a Super Bowl. Wow. What a payday. 1-year contract free agents. It's insane. Jalen Carter versus Trey Smith and Joe Tooney. I mean, dude, this is going to be a handful. Jalen Carter could cement himself as the heir apparent to Chris Jones in this game and to Aaron Donald. What a big game for him. In just his second year starting, he would have already done things that Jerome never did, playing a Super Bowl. Jerome was already considered one of the top interior defensive tackles. He was an all-pro, not just a Pro Bowler. I mean, but Jalen Carter is on his way. Carter versus Humphrey. Creed Humphrey's the best center next to Ragnow in Detroit. Okay? And this is going to be another great matchup. There's so many great matchups. Chris Jones on Cam Jurgens is going to be a great matchup to keep an eye on. Zander, I'm going to take a timeout because I got a phone call from somebody. I wonder, because I think that Keith is in Texas. I'm not sure. And I got to make sure I get one of my Bet US's in here too. So don't forget, folks, do me a favor. Check out our great friends at Bet US and make sure you get an understanding of our friends here at Bet US. We've teamed up with those guys, and throughout the football season, Super Bowl Sunday coming up here with our YouTube 150. Sign-up bonuses up to $2K. Second and third are 125%. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. Fastest payouts in the business. Live wagering on all major games. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. That being said, folks, we really appreciate you guys coming aboard here. And you don't know this, but I believe, if I remember Jerome Brown telling me, that Keith Jackson and Byars were roommates in Philly. Today's Jerome Brown's birthday. He would have been 60 years old today. And we're watching a kid who wears number 98. Jerome wore 98 at UM. I played next to him, of course. And he wore 99 with the Eagles. But I get a lot of people texting me in going, today was Jerome. Jerome would have been 60 today. I'm telling you, folks, between Sean Taylor and Jerome Brown, if those guys have fulfilled their prophecy, Jerome would be in Canton. And if Keith played today, I told you he'd be Alvin Kamara, making $20 million a year. Without further ado, truly ahead of his time. That whole offense was ahead of his time. Randall Cunningham is Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's how you look at those guys and how they keep Jackson and keep Byars and Randall. What a great football team and what a great culture. One of the most memorable teams of all time with Buddy Ryan's guys. Here's our friend Keith Byars, who's freshly coming off. He must be in heaven right now with his Ohio State Buckeyes winning the national championship once again. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Dan. Very well. I mean, 2025 has been very, very good to me. My Buckeyes are national champions again in college football. My Philadelphia Eagles is NFC champions, soon to be Super Bowl champions in 2025. Doesn't get much better than that right now.
It doesn't, man. You're in a good place right now heading into this 25 here. Hey, just to reflect a little bit, today's JB's birthday. You agree with me? If that guy had fulfilled his prophecy, he'd have been in Canton?
Oh, no question. No question. I mean, back in those days, I'm saying old now, back when we played, we wasn't projecting guys in the Hall of Fame after 2 years or after your rookie year. We just let you play your career out. And then, Hall of Fame would just be something that would happen. Even Reggie White, we knew Reggie White was going to be a Hall of Famer, but we didn't think about that. We just trying to win this game Sunday. We just happy he's on our team. So Jerome Brown, I heard your intro. My Jalen Carter does have a lot of traces of Jerome Brown. Oh, he's awesome. I mean, Jerome Brown, it doesn't believe it. It's been how many years ago now? It's
30-something.
1992. Geez, I mean, 28 years.
Man.
It's just unbelievable. But we said Jerome would never be forgotten.
That's right.
He'd never be
Absolutely.
forgotten. So he said he's 60. He would have been 60 years old today. And I'm like, it doesn't seem like until you say it out loud. Like,
I know, man. My wife said the same thing. He goes, you guys are getting up there now. And I'm like,
I know, because I'm 61 and I don't really say that out loud.
Hey, you and me are still thinking we're in our 20s going, yeah, I played a couple years ago. You didn't play a couple. You played 30 years? I'm like, I did?
I haven't scored a touchdown in over 25 years.
I know.
You know how long since I've been in the end zone?
I know. Keith, what made your teams so memorable? I mean, everybody always goes back. I mean, even more so than some of the Super Bowl teams that they've had. Was it just the personalities that you guys had on those teams?
I get asked that question from time to time, various ways. But, we were all in Philadelphia. And the nickname of Philadelphia is a city of brotherly love. And it was just apropos where you bring that many different personalities. Every team has a lot of different personalities. But our personalities, being in Philadelphia at that time in the 80s, it was just perfect mix of guys, of chemistry. It didn't matter, black, white, green, brown, purple. It didn't matter. You walked in that locker room, all we saw was Philadelphia Eagles. A true brotherhood that was infectious and fell in love, with the city on various reasons why. I mean, we went through a strike together. Not one Philadelphia Eagle crossed the line. Because it was like, hey, man, either we all going to do it or none of us are going to do it. And it was my second year in the NFL, Jerome Brown's first year in the NFL. And we was basically saying the same thing. I can't miss what I ain't never had. I've never been paid but 1 year in my life. I played football for free. Jerome, this is my first year even getting a contract, having an NFL contract. So it's really hard for me to miss paychecks I never really had coming in. So if this is what's right for us to be strong and none of us cross the picket line, so be it. And that's one of the other things that brought us closer together. Philadelphia is a huge union town. And they got behind us because, hey, the Eagles aren't crossing the line. We aren't crossing the line. Any other scab to cross the line, the union people telling us, y'all just stay out of trouble. Let us handle the scabs. I was like, okay. If people get mad at me today, he's like, why are you calling them scabs? They're replacement players. No, they're scabs. I lost a quarter of my salary that year that I did not get back.
That was my first year too, man. That's right. Hey, those checks, man, when you ain't ever getting them, I mean, I was the same way. I'm like, holy cow here, man. My grandpa's like, you ain't crossing no damn line. What are you, nuts? And I'm like, okay. So there it was, man. I'm losing all that. I'm losing money I never had, but I'm like, damn, when I got those checks, back then for me, getting like $15,000, $20,000 a week, man, that was big dough for me, man.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you extrapolate that out. That's like $100,000 today here, though. So I mean,
nobody in my family made six figures.
Yeah.
My father didn't make six figures in the 80s. No. So I was the first one to make six figures in my whole family, and,
Wow.
and it was a good feeling. A good feeling.
Hey,
But just something bigger than you.
Keith, what did you enjoy doing more, playing in the horseshoe or playing at the vet?
Ooh. Good. I never heard that question. That's the good one, Dan. I don't. Ooh, I can't compare them because at the horseshoe, you only have a certain amount of times to do it because you're going to graduate, and that's going to be it. And so by your senior year, this is the last time I'm running out of this tunnel. Whereas in the vet, I didn't know. We didn't have free agency when I first came in. I didn't know how many years I was going to play, but when you playing in a veteran stadium, it's different than any other stadium out there in the professional football. Colleges, everyone has their own unique things, but I'm gonna think long and hard about that one. But to answer your question, I'm wearing my Ohio State shirt right now. With that.
I see it.
I'm gonna say Ohio State because Ohio State, the stadium was built in 1922. They played football before it, and there was a 60,000 seat stadium in 1922. Now it's over 100, 500, 6,000, seat stadium. So it's a national historical place. I will always be able to come back to Ohio State. Whereas the vet is no longer there. I just know where it was, and now it's the link. But I'm like, the Phillies new set, that's where the vet used to play. So that will always keep a special place to me. But the fans in Philadelphia made the vet. So I can still see the vet by just being there. Just sensing, I can still hear the roar of the crowd. Even though there's no stadium there, I can still hear it. And you have that connection you have with the city. And it's really hard to compare college and pro.
Did it have a college sense because the fans love that team with so much civic pride, like in Columbus? I know that city loves the Buckeyes, and there's so much civic pride there with that. But in Philadelphia, it's kind of on the pro level, like you have in Buffalo or Green Bay or Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Do you feel like did you feel that a little bit more, like not like a college feel to it, that the team was loved so much by the city? Because Sixers, Flyers, look, Phillies, those are all great historical franchises. But since I've been talking in Philadelphia now for 5 years, Keith, they love that team, man. No matter what that team does, man.
We are the true heartbeat of the Philadelphia Eagles, of Philadelphia.
Yes.
I mean, the Eagles make the headlines in March.
Yes.
What's going on in Philly with the Eagle football? That's the heartbeat of the city because it's only once a week. The Phillies play sometimes 4, 5, 6 times a week. The Sixers may play 3 or 4 times a week. Same with the Flyers. But the Eagle football is once a week. And especially when it's on Sunday, people have been working all week long to enjoy Eagle football on Sunday. And if the Eagles play a good game and we win, then your week is a whole lot better. Eagles play bad and lose on Sunday. Now you got to go to work on Monday. Did you see what happened yesterday with the Eagles? The boss isn't as happy. So the whole city feels it. They feel the highs and the low of the Philadelphia Eagle football season. And right now, it's as high as it can be. They're headed to the Super Bowl, and everybody's going. I'm sure Monday is going to be a national holiday. Nobody has to work on Monday because, hey, the Eagles just won the Super Bowl. Don't come into work. Let's celebrate. Let's have a good time.
I love it, man. Let me ask you, what's the difference you think heading into this Super Bowl compared to Super Bowl 57 for this team? You made a great comment last year, and I used it a bunch. You said that last year's team hadn't played playoff football since Thanksgiving, and we were talking late in December, and you were kind of calling it right there before the season was even over. You were like, they're not playing together. They haven't played together football since November and since Thanksgiving. I was like, damn, and he turned out to be right, and you were right. What's the difference heading into this game here, though, in your opinion, with this team from that 22 team to this team heading in on Sunday?
See, in NFL, every year is different. That's why so many people love the NFL. For your team went to the Super Bowl. Next year, they don't make the playoffs. Like the Cincinnati Bengals here in Ohio, they hadn't been to the Super Bowl in 31 years. And then they go to the Super Bowl, and it's like, wow. And then next year, they go to the AFC Championship game. And the last 2 years, they haven't made the playoffs. So you can go these really the ebb and flow, the highs and lows. I mean, it's like I said last year about the Eagles not playing football since Thanksgiving. It was kind of like, when the season going to be over with? I know we made the playoffs. It's just like it's had to go to Tampa to just make it official and pronounce them, because they were dead well before they got down to Tampa, last year. Whereas this year, totally different vibe. Went through a little something early in the season, middle of the season, you're starting to pick up some momentum and get an identity. And by Thanksgiving, that team is totally different from a year ago Thanksgiving. And they was running downhill in December. Only thing, they stubbed their toe against Washington when Jalen Hurts got hurt. But prior to him getting injured, Saquon had already had over 120-something yards and ended up losing that game. But even it was still like, okay, no problem. We'll get them next time. We'll get them next time. And when next time came in the NFC Championship game, the real Eagles stood up and, hung 50 points on them in the NFC Championship game. Are you kidding me? They are playing high-level football. Offense, defense, special teams. Like Jalen Carter, we mentioned him earlier. And been talking about him since the middle of the season on. And it talking about who's going to be the defensive player of the year. And I'm like, I know they don't give it to defensive tackles. But for me, I mean, gosh, he would know if he finishes lower than third, it's ridiculous. That's how great a year that man has had. I mean, you look at the Ram game in the playoff, saved the Eagles season. That third down sack that he had on Matt Stafford to make it now 4th and forever. Oh, that was a huge play. Huge play. I mean, that's just a play that he just made that game. But if you watch the Eagles all season long, he's been that guy all season long. I mean,
Keith, let me put this.
But he should.
Let me put this in your ear here. I get a lot of people say this to me, and I'm sorry, man. When I put the game film on, when I was watching those old VHSs, and I'm sitting there watching Reggie or LT, and you're like, those dudes just were in different speeds. I mean, it was just different. The hump move, all that stuff. You're sitting there watching it. You're not believing it. But then you sit around and you watch Jalen Carter, the way he moves his feet, the way he moves his hand. And it's tougher to get sacks inside than it is on the perimeter. We all know that. But I'm not going to put him in the category of Reggie. But does he have a Reggie impact on a defense? Not to the level of Reggie, but is he that kind of player that you have to circle his number, know where he is if you're Kansas City?
Oh, no question. I mean, he's like a Jerome Brown, an Aaron Donald.
Jerome.
Even when you have him, we assign the double team. When he gets get off of the ball so fast, your double team doesn't matter because he's already in the gap, splitting the double team, even though the snap count. So that get off. I mean, he's just so explosive, and he got himself in the best shape of his life. He was never in this kind of shape in Georgia because he could just throw his helmet on the field and be better than 9/10 of the people.
And plus, they did a ton of rotating like they do at Ohio State. You don't play 60 plays at Georgia.
No. I mean, he is. I think at one point Sunday he had played 40 or 44 snaps. I was like, at a high level. So I mean, you're in really good shape because you're getting hit every snap from 2 or 3 different angles, and that's going to take something out of you. And you have to attain it to be a professional. And my gosh, he's doing it. I mean, and that's having a ripple effect throughout that defense because now the quarterback, he's got to speed up. Now, because as an offensive player, we love rhythm and timing. We hate to get our time and the rhythm disrupted by defensive players. And when you have a defensive player that can do that, that has a ripple effect on your whole offense.
Keith, I had Brian Westbrook on a couple months ago, and he was talking about this O-line. And can you imagine if you dudes back in the day with your offensive skill set, guys, had that kind of offensive line? And he was saying this. He goes, look, Barkley, is a sensational player. But the key to that whole team and the heartbeat of that team are those 5 guys up front, because they have just dominated people. I mean, that's as good an O-line. Do you not agree? Going back to those Cowboy O-lines.
I mean, you Cowboys, the Washington, I was about to say the R word, the Washington Commanders, the Hogs, they are elite. Elite. And then the backups are elite also. When a guy goes down, next man up, it doesn't like they miss a beat. And, I was talking to Seth Joyner earlier today. When the Eagles got a chance to get Saquon Barkley, who they see twice a year with the New York Giants, and now we don't have to tackle him. He was the only one we had to work. Now he's going to be an Eagle. In the last 25 years, just everybody's been playing in the 2000s. I haven't seen a home run hitter like Saquon Barkley. When I say a home run hitter, explosive runs are 20 yards more.
Like Dickerson.
Yeah, but that's why I don't want to say all time, because I don't want to be that guy, have recency bias.
Yeah.
In the last 25 years since 2000, this guy, how many runs does he have over 20 yards? How many runs does he have over 40? Over 60? He is a home run hitter. And when you get an offensive running back like that, you got to feed him. I mean, he could just change. I mean, you look at Washington game in this NFC Championship. The opening drive, they just drove it down. Eagles held them to a field goal. They're feeling good. And no sooner they're over there drinking Gatorade, Saquon is dancing in the end zone. One play, 70 yards. They're like, wow, we just took a lot out of the Eagles, but it didn't matter. You're losing 7-3. That's like, we had to struggle for these 3, and the Eagles got it in one play. That's what a home run hitter can give you. I mean, and not only does he, we love everybody likes the long ball, love home runs, but he also runs well. The tough yardage between the tackles, getting you 2 or 3 yards at a time. He is dangerous. He's a weapon, and he's not. The secret is out, but he has a good game, a big game on Sunday. I want to see Patrick Mahomes on the sidelines watching the Eagles offense eat up clock. 6-minute drives, touchdown, 8-minute drives, touchdown, put pressure on Kansas City to score. Because, they have, say the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes. But what I didn't see, the teams that played him in the playoffs, don't let him out the pocket. Do not let him out the pocket. Because when he gets outside the pocket, good things happen more often than not for Kansas City. He's going to burn you for a first down, touchdown, or he always makes some positive plays. Not that, and he's already dangerous in the pocket. They got to make him one-dimensional, take away the running game for Kansas City, because that gets overlooked all the time. They run the ball very well with Pacheco, Hunt. They do a really good job.
Yep. How about this one here? Call me crazy. I only let the ex-players do it. Michael Irvin said the same thing about Hurts. Tell me that I'm not looking at this right. 2,900 yards passing, 18 touchdowns. He's not really an elite passer in the pocket, but he's won so many games. He's in the second Super Bowl, Keith, in 3 years. Do you believe Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback?
Yes. You're not crazy. He's an elite quarterback. I mean, I hate the term game manager when they say that, when they put that label quarterback. He's a game manager. All good quarterbacks supposed to be game managers. Take care of the football. Don't turn the ball over. I'll take a quarterback that's throwing for 200-plus yards and no turnovers as opposed to a quarterback who throws for 300 and has 3+ turnovers. You're going to win way more games with a 200-yard guy. And sometimes people have a tendency to forget, especially when you win. So Mike Irvin is talking about how many times you see Troy Aikman come back in the fourth quarter down 2 scores. How many times we see Troy Aikman throw for 300+ yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns? No. But he's going to get the credit because their team won. They had an offensive line. They end the ball to Emmett, throw it out there to Michael Irvin, to Jay Novacek, and they win the game 24-17 or 30-21 or whatever. And nobody cares about Troy Aikman's stats. But all they care about is they won and they glorify Troy, and fine. That's what happens when you win. I don't care about Jalen Hurts' stats. I care about my Eagles winning a football game. And on Sunday, I don't care how many yards he throw for, as long as the Eagles win. And I want Jalen Hurts on my team. And I'm
So for you,
I
Keith,
saw you
the
went down,
touchdown
I don't
pa-
think you-
for you, Keith, the touchdown passes are more overrated than the interceptions. You'd rather have a guy with no touchdowns and no picks than a guy like you said would have Brett Favre, 3 TDs and three turnovers. You're not going to win games doing that.
No, not at all. I mean, and Jalen and the Eagles' offense isn't designed to chase stats. We get the ball inside the 5-yard line, the 10-yard line, 7-yard line. We hardly ever throw the ball down there because we can run the ball so good. So I mean, Jalen has 18 touchdowns. How many of those touchdowns are outside of 5 yards? Outside, not many. That's our offense. That's what it's designed to do. And prior to Troy Aikman, Terry Bradshaw won 4 Super Bowls with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everyone knows it was the Steelers' defense and the running game that won those Super Bowls, and the elite wide receivers are Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. But the quarterback gets the glory. And I don't care how much, but it seems to be like with Jalen Hurts, they want to downgrade him and downplay his success. And what's it going to take for Jalen Hurts to someday win the MVP of the league? He's going to have to have 6,000 yards passing and another 500-600 yards rushing. I don't really care about MVPs. I care about winning, and that's really Jalen Hurts is all about. He's a winner. He's won on every level. His father was his coach, which I don't know why they don't show his father more. The media, I don't get it. He is. I mean, he's a someone that you really want to promote. This guy is all about positivity. He's a winner, and I mean, he's a role model. I don't care about stats. That's for the fantasy people to do that. I care about wins and losses, and Jalen Hurts seems to have that attitude, about it. I remember his first 2 years in Philadelphia, and I'm slow to judgment. And I was like, I don't know if he's going to be our quarterback for the future. He's improved from his rookie year, to his second year, but I just don't know. But I'm not passing judgment. Then the third year, wow, he got better. We go to the Super Bowl. Last year, he got even better. We didn't go to the Super Bowl, but I saw improvement. This year, it's the same thing. His trajectory is still going up. He hasn't maxed out his talent. And, this is, so not only are we in the Super Bowl this year, I think we're going to be in even more Super Bowls, win, lose, or draw Sunday. Where's Josh Allen? Has Josh Allen been in the Super Bowls?
No.
Mark Jackson, how many Super Bowls he been in? Okay. Right. I mean, I'm just saying.
All right,
Herbert, no Super Bowls? Oh, okay.
Hey, Keith, all right, what do you got on Sunday? Obviously, I know where you're going here, but is it a big win or is it a tight win?
A win. And I think the first team to 28.
What are you running for mayor of Philly?
I just want to win by 1 point or 31 points. When I was Ohio State and Notre Dame, I'm like, I just want to win. I just want to win. I'm gonna feel the same way when we win, whether we won by 30 or won by 1. I'm gonna be over the moon. But I do say the first team to 28 points. Not that it won't be more than 28, but whoever scores 28 first. And I believe it's going to be the Eagles. We're going to win the game.
They're going to win their second Super Bowl in 8 years. That'll be their third in 8 years. I'll tell you, man, it's a testament to the organization that, you can talk about what Kansas City and New England did, but, there's a lot of turnover in that organization on both sides of the football. They do a great job. Howie Roseman's done a great job in selecting talent.
Yes, and only going to get better. I've already gotten some guys on the Eagles roster I want out of college right now. I don't know if it's going to work out, but, like that Scatterboo for Arizona State. I'm like, yeah, he can come in and spare Saquon Barkley a little bit.
Ooh, I like that.
At Penn State. Hey, he could come over here and play with Dallas Goedert and those guys.
Oh, my God, the kid Scatterboo from Arizona State. I like that going in Philly. Grab that kid in the third. Grab that kid in the third or fourth round.
That's what I'm saying. He'll be available.
Yeah.
Tyler Warren at Penn State.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll make a great Eagle.
I like that idea, man, with Scatterboo. I do. Hey, final question for you. your boy Ryan Day get too much bullshit because he's so many. I mean, look, you got Woody you got to deal with. You got Meyer you got to deal with. You got so much history that you're dealing with. He loses to Michigan. Obviously, that doesn't go well. However, I mean, he does win the national championship. I mean, that's a huge thing. Is it too much criticism on him, or is that just par for the course for the job?
It's not too much criticism. It's the best job in football. I mean, it's not a better job in the NFL than Ohio State head football coach. And at Ohio State, it's not a better job than in college football than at Ohio State. You have no in-state competition. Alabama has Auburn to deal with. You know, Texas has a whole bunch of Texas schools, and
Florida,
you know, USC, Florida. Ohio State doesn't have any competition. You know, we are used to success. So as much criticism as Ryan Day's gotten, it's nowhere near amount of the love that he has gotten and the support. We love Ohio State football. You know, much bigger than the city of Columbus, much bigger than the state of Ohio. Ohio State really never has a away game. So it is worldwide. You know, I remember going to the Japan Bowl when I was in college, and we had an Ohio State booster over there taking myself and Pepper Johnson, showing us Japan, taking us out to dinner, and Bo Jackson was getting jealous. And they were like, come on, Bo, you can go with us. Yeah, I'm sorry you don't have any Auburn alumni in Tokyo, Japan. But come on, Bo. And we went to go watch a sumo wrestlers practice. All because of Ohio State. So Ohio State is great responsibility with that job. And as much, I mean, you're not lacking for anything. You're not lacking money. You're not lacking resources. You're not lacking facilities. Everything that we want. And I know you didn't ask me this, but is the Michigan game overblown? Of course not. When you lose to Michigan, yes, it's supposed to hurt. And we've lost to them 4 years in a row. It stinks. But I'll take a national championship over that, over a win against Michigan. And we'll get Michigan. You know, we'll spank them again. You know, but they're going to get it. But do we love Ryan Day? Of course we do. And like it's only that loud minority that was critical of Ryan Day. And it's okay to criticize your coach. You know, it's okay. I mean, when he lost to Michigan for the fourth time, we go 10-2. You're open for criticism, but yeah, you had a mulligan. You had the playoffs, and we was like, you take care of business, we'll forget all that.
Got it.
We did, and kudos. I'm a huge Ryan Day fan.
Good.
But just like your parents love you, they can also criticize you. And correct you when you get
Absolutely, Keith. Thank you so much for your time. I love catching up with you, man.
Hey, it reminds me to come on your show, Dan.
Hey, man, it reminds me of all my dear friends back in the day, man. It really does. In our time together when we were all in the league together, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Keith, have a great Super Bowl Sunday. I appreciate it, my friend.
Jerome Brown,
my friend. Thank you so much, Keith.
Always. All right.
You got it. That is my friend Keith Byars, one of the truly great Philadelphia Eagles of all time. Guys, I got to do this here before we take a time out here. My great friends at Morgan & Morgan. I've been telling you guys this now for 2 weeks now here, so you guys will know what I'm talking about with John Morgan and his wife Ultima have built this firm into being what it is, one of the biggest law firms in the country. They are the biggest injury law firm in America with over $20 billion recovered for their clients. Morgan & Morgan's track record is absolutely unmatched. In Pennsylvania, I told you about a story. Insurance company offered $650K. No way. Morgan & Morgan and his team went in there and got $26 million for the family. In Florida, a client was supposed to only get $350K. Morgan & Morgan's team went in there and got $12 million. Life is hard, folks. We all know this. Easiest decision you ever make is Morgan & Morgan. If you're ever injured, please do me a favor. Check out our friends at Morgan & Morgan. forthepeople.com/Big Sills or #529. That's FORthepeople.com/Big Sills or #529. And do me a favor, tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Folks, absolutely awesome show, man. We had a ton of fun today, man. A lot of laughs. It is Super Bowl week. 6 days out to Super Sunday. Can't wait. Guys, please do me a favor. Hit that like button. Big Z, Joe, thank you very much. 2 to 6 tomorrow. We will see you Eastern time, and we'll see you on the flip side.